And we should be going.
All right, welcome back to No Small Feat. Last session, we completed the second arc of our campaign, The Haunted Widower, where we found out that said widower was actually a vampiric monster known as a doppelganger, and we bashed his fucking brains out, and everything was better. Leonie's has managed to escape a deadly marriage, and is now off to parts unknown, and our heroes now have a choice ahead of them. Do they pursue their various side quests, or do they just keep going with the main plot? We'll find out as we start today's session of No Small Feat, and maybe later we'll start our third arc. Okay, guys, so you are in the town of Peralt. You can feel free to do some shopping. You did get some money last session, and there is some stuff left in the stores. You also have 2 side quests to pursue if you so choose to do it. You can rent a boat from Peralt's Cinderlawn Inn and Tavern and go out and try and find Peg Prowler, or I suppose, you could go out with Sir George Garston on a non-lethal dragon capturing quest. So are you monster hunters or witch hunters today? I'm going to say that you guys got to rest. You might have slept in a little bit, but you got to rest at the inn. They even let you do it free of charge because your previous accommodations were destroyed by a giant wolf monster. So it's another day. It's a new day. The horrors of the night are behind you, and you're ready to start your next adventure. Oh, and I should mention, main story-wise, you guys found your second crown jewel, so you've got 2 of the 7. Huzzah!
Hot crystals.
2 of the 7 jewels/crystals.
All right, All right, 5 more, and we can summon Itgeheim Shenron. Let's go.
Yeah, that's essentially what we're building up to, sure. Where to, gang? What are we doing?
I'm itching to hunt down that witch.
Itching for a witchin'.
I think we should find it as well. It would help with us finding out Edmund's problem more in depth and how we could potentially fix it. Plus, I don't have a witch in my book. Well, I have 1 witch in my book.
Yeah, don't forget your friend Raxi so quickly.
I have not forgotten. Montblanc has not forgotten Raxi. I forgot Raxi.
No.
Briefly.
And a witch is likely to be guarded by all sorts of magical beasts.
See? We work together, best of both worlds.
Charles, what are your thoughts?
Well, I was going to say, but then Edmund basically said what I was going to say.
Grunt, what about you?
How
are you feeling? Oh, sorry. Go on, Charles.
No, it's okay. Just that witches usually have interesting friends.
That is true.
Mm-hmm. Grunt will just follow the group at this point. He has no agency. He just came in. He's like, yes, these are things they're doing. He is also wearing his amulet he got from the witch.
Mm-hmm.
Does it make everybody see him as a human, or just Sir George Garston?
I may have phrased it misleadingly. I'm going to say that it's going to make anyone that Scrunt does not want to see his true form see him as human Scrunt.
Okay.
Who I imagine looks a little bit like Broadway Beetlejuice.
Mm-hmm. Tall, lanky motherfucker.
He looks like a scrunt, a beggar child.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I guess you could say, well, humans have scale sonas. He has a skin sona now.
Yeah, skin sonas. That's the new trend sweeping the nation. Skin sonas.
Oh god, I hate. Oh.
I can't wait to see Bugs Bunny's skin sona.
No. stored away
Just
forever.
Mel Blanc.
Don't call them gajinkas, you weeaboo shits. Call them what they are. Skin sodas.
Or conversely, skinnies.
Yeah.
Fucking kill both
Just
of you.
just admit that you want to see
I
these
know of-
animal characters and their skinnies.
I know of like 2 different sci-fi series where skinnies is a pejorative for people who live in outer space.
Skinnies is a historical term for being in the nude, so it works, I suppose.
Yeah.
We all know Nicki Minaj has a bias against skinnies, a prejudice of sorts.
Okay,
An
I
interesting
don't know.
start tonight.
We're gonna transition back to
All right, so at the Centralon Inn and Tavern, you get in there and the place is in a lively state. As you hear someone leading the group in song. John Lambton went a fishing once, a fishing in the weir. He caught a fish upon his hook he thought looked mighty queer. Now what a kind of fish it was John Lambton couldn't tell, but he didn't like the look of it, so he threw it down a well. Now that worm got fat and growed an awful size, with great big teeth and a great big gob and great big goggle eyes. And when at night it crawled about looking for some booze, if it felt dry upon the road it milked a dozen coos. Hush, lads, hush your gobs, and everyone starts singing in the chorus. I'll tell you all an awful story. Hush, lads, hush your gobs, I'll tell you about the worm. This fearful worm would often feed on cows and lamb and sheep, and swallow little babes alive when they lay down to sleep. And John set out and caught the beast and cut it into halves, and that's what stopped it eating babes and sheep and lambs and calves. So now you know how all the folks on both sides of the weir lost lots of sheep and lots of sleep and lived in mortal fear. So drink the health of brave Sir John who kept the babes from harm, saved cows and calves by making halves of that fearsome lantern worm. Oh, hush, lads, hush your gobs, I'll tell you all an awful story. Hush, lads, hush your gobs, I'll tell you about the worm. And everyone lets out a big cheer, and pints are gathered all around. And the person who led the song, sort of vaguely middle-aged looking man, does a bow and sits back down at his table. And then the bartender shakes his head, and it's never too early to drink in Middle Ages times.
No, I meant the carousing song. It's a bit early for that part. The drinking part.
You guys slept in a bit.
It's afternoon.
I didn't read.
We were up all night dealing with spooky things.
Now, the singer's table is abuzz with life. Meanwhile, you see at the bar, the bartender is busy cleaning glasses and tidying things up, and next to him is that boat with the big rental plaque.
Let's go get us a boat. Montblanc makes his way
What
over.
song was even about?
About killing a dragon.
I suppose.
I mean, I don't know of a fish that turns into a dragon, but in the grand scheme of things, there are a lot of things I don't know. It's why I'm out here.
Is a worm. John Lambton just didn't know about basic biology. See, he thought it was a fish because it came from the water, but not everything that comes from the water is a fish. Sometimes it's a woman, and she says you just gotta swim out to her rock, and you want to do it, but you're scared.
Okay, Simon.
And sometimes it's a horse. A horse, I tell you.
Of course.
Yes, I've met the wonderful horses that try to drag you under the water, and in fact, strange reptiles.
So, reptile.
Lizard
A robber. Oh, like a serpent.
with legs.
Yeah, well, some serpents got those.
Fair enough, buddy.
When he passes out on the table. The bartender shakes his head. Oh, he never could hold his liquor.
How much did he have?
I've been watering it down, trying to see his tolerance. Haven't reached it yet.
Oh no.
And he keeps coming back here. I think he just wants to be included.
That's understandable. Now, I do apologize for the relative lateness of the day, but is there any chance, good barkeep, that I might be able to rent a boat?
Yeah.
We need a sizable one.
Okay. I got this one. And you see a pretty decent sized fishing rowboat.
Will I fit?
Yeah, you'll fit.
If it can, it'll fit all of us. It will be a wonderful
It's
time.
conveniently big enough for all of you.
That's crazy.
Yeah, who would have thought?
How much?
10 cents a day.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
500 if you break it.
Ah. No, we won't be doing that.
Yeah, better not. Love that boat.
I can tell,
Oh,
good
right.
sir.
He loves it
Then
like
we'll
a
take
son.
it.
Alright. You gotta carry it out, though.
I don't think that will be an issue.
Okay. Then he holds out his hand for the money.
I put the 10 zen in his hand.
Alright, you have a boat.
Dun, dun, dun.
You're on a boat. So,
Bravo.
if you head out to the southwest through the Wildwoods, you can get onto the beautiful shores of the Ridgetooth River and find good old Peg Prowler.
What do you think the odds are of us getting onto the shore and the pig prowler being there already?
Probably low.
But not zero.
Not zero, no. I can't discount anything.
I'm just glad we didn't run into that great big wolf again. We were going through the woods.
Why do you say things?
Instantly just turn around.
Oh, thank you for reminding me, actually.
No. No.
Okay,
No,
proceed.
no.
So you go through the woods, and you reach the shore of the Ridgetooth River, and there is like a basic ass dock. It's a bit of a hike. It takes like about 45 minutes to get to the shore. But there's a nice rudimentary dock where people of Peralta have obviously used to set off their boats and go out for a nice row, catch some fish, so you're roughly here at this little
Okay.
bank here, and Pig Prowler's shack, according to your map, is not too far. It's really a very short gap to Peg's place from the river. So, who would like to row me a check to know how to sail a boat? And tell me how you're going to justify your character either knowing or figuring out how to sail a boat.
I
Can I
can't.
roll it?
There's no way Charles would.
Who's
Grunt,
gonna
you
roll?
absolutely can. I think that'd be fucking hilarious.
Same. What
You
do I
got-
need to roll?
Well, you got to just, tell me what your character's approach is to figuring out a boat.
Hmm.
Or spin me a good tale of bullshit to explain why your character would know how to row a simple rowboat already.
Okay. When he was but a young hatchling, a wise old boatkeeper came upon him. This boatkeep viewed him as a son after feeding him and giving him water.
And I might as well have one that's a weird lizard thing.
Exactly. So he taught this dragon his ways. From
Yep,
the-
this is how you row a boat, and now I'm going to teach you how to make out with girls. Like my dad taught me.
What?
All right, I've got an onion and I've drawn the face on it. Just go to town. We'll figure it out.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Go on.
Oh, fuck.
And so For 5 long years, Grunt learned the ways of the sailor.
Well,
Set the sails.
I've got to say, you're taking to the boat thing really well, but it's been 4.5 years and you're still eating the women's faces off. I don't think you're ever going to make out with a woman, son.
Wait, I thought you were supposed to eat their faces.
Oh, no! It's just got to feel like that, kind of, but in a good way.
Well, why didn't you specify that earlier?
I've been trying, but as soon as I put that onion down, you go to town. I
It's
thought a
an
watermelon
onion,
would be
it's not
better,
a
but you
human.
shattered it like a pumpkin. And the pumpkin you shattered like a watermelon.
And the watermelon's oddly fine.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, I ate it. It's sort of like eating my daughter in retrospect. Oh God, have I been doing incest by making you kiss all my daughters?
What the fuck?
Are all your daughters through?
You
This
get the
is going a
This is
direction.
getting weird.
Scrunt, back here, Scrunt. You're fading out of reality, Scrunt.
All right, Scrunt. That was a fun enough tangent for me to allow this bullshit. But you are going to have to do a willpower insight check to get your friends to understand the basics of using a rowboat.
Okay.
Difficulty level 10, but I'll give you a +2 bonus thanks to your previously established backstory of having been taught for 5 years how to row a boat by a strange old man.
Previously established.
It was
What'd I
previous
get?
before this roll.
Jeez.
Wow, okay.
I was gonna offer support, but Scrunt don't need that.
Yeah. This is the power of anime backstory.
I like we had our first flashback.
And it involved Scrunt eating onions, trying to make out with them.
Onion with human faces, like, painted on. With edible pigments. There's probably not very many inedible pigments. Holy shit, that roll! Okay, yeah. You guys row out to Peg Prowlers. Can you please delete all your Titan Kaiju versions of yourselves before I switch the map? I don't want to come back here and see a bunch of Kaiju running about that aren't supposed to. Hey, you know what? I actually have figured out exactly what I'm gonna do to make sure this doesn't happen anymore. Just give me a second. There we go. He's just gonna keep going for us. There we go. He's
Funny
gonna keep.
thing is, Charles has been hidden on this map for weeks.
Where's Charles?
I know where you are, Charles. I see you over here.
Wait. I don't know if I see him.
Hey, Charles.
Oh,
You know, I liked the first taste. I can smell you. He's gonna hang out here. It's nice and lush for him. Okay. Okay.
Charles was proud, so he blended in very well up there. I forgot he was up there until you said something now, TT.
All right. Well,
there was something else.
you guys eventually find the little island on the map, and at the edge of the island, there's this this wonderful little dock, and these large, ominous-looking spiked fortifications in front of a lovely little hut with some pumpkins in a patch over here, and a sweet, lovely old woman tending to a campfire. Just the sweetest little granny you ever did see. Just a lovely, wonderful, horned, green, sharp-toothed woman with a peg leg. She sees you guys ride up. She looks up from her campfire with her one good eye.
Ah, that's what she called pig.
It's actually short for Margaret.
I see.
What?
that doesn't make any sense.
And she hobbles up oddly fast right to the mouth of her little fortifications.
Well, visitors! But I don't remember seeing any of you before. Normally when I have visitors, it's people asking me to undo things.
Ah, well, that's partly what we're here for.
Oh.
Sort of.
Well,
only partly.
Oh. Well, come, dear Peggy. Let's see what you're about. Ooh, yes, I can tell with you,
She says with a sinister chuckle to Edmund.
You've had Bonnie Ann in your past.
Is that? Oh yeah, that's who Sycoraxine, I think, said. Okay, yep. Yeah, apparently I met her.
Is old Raxie. I haven't seen her since Witch's Sabbath so many years ago. That was a good night.
We just restored her heart to her after having cut it out for over 30 years. So she seems to be doing a lot better.
The fuck did I miss with her? Jesus.
I think she was going through things.
Yeah, no shit.
Depression.
It hits us all from time to time. Let's see. You too with the barnacle goose. Oh, I could cook that up for you. Something nice.
Barnaby here is a wonderful friend and companion, and a good fighter when we need him to be.
All right, I won't cook someone's pet. That'd be pretty fucked up. We've got a very lovely book there.
Yes,
Where did you get it?
It was gifted to me by a kindly old lady.
I bet it was.
Not old. A kind lady on the wood. I am on a mission sent to record all sorts of magical beings and creatures.
Okay, well, I can tell that Bonnie Ann's got something to do with all of this, so what can old Peggy do for you lovely youths?
Well, we're trying to track that Anne down so that she can rid me of my curse.
Oh, Bonnie Ann doesn't rid people of curses. You've got to figure that out for yourself, but if you do want to talk to her, I do have things I can do to help you in that. I'm not sure what's in it for me, though.
What would you like?
Honestly, I thought we were gonna have to fight for this, so this is already kind of...
Good idea!
Oh no.
Okay, yes, that's wonderful. That'd be very fun. We could do it like this. If you can best me in just a simple little game of combat, I'll tell you how to find Nellie. And I'll give you a recommendation, which you'll need if you want to find good old Bonnie Ann. You'll also need one from Nellie and Jenny, of course, but I'm sure that if you can best me, you could probably best those two. Get all three of us to give us a recommendation, and I'm sure you'll find your way right to good old Anne's doorstep. Now, of course, there should be a penalty if you should lose. And my stew pot is rather light on meat.
And then she smiles very wide and wicked.
Think we've figured this one out, haven't we?
What do you all think?
Mont Blanc's just gonna look to Edwin and be like, it seems pretty cut and clear that we're fighting whether we want to or not anymore, so might as well
You could
enjoy
just
it.
leave. You could leave right now. I don't give a shit. I've got stew to make. Stew.
Bright Eyes doesn't say it out loud, but she's thinking, with what?
But, pumpkin stew is great, but it'd really go better with a little bit of, good lizard meat, some nice beef, maybe, adding a bit of stock. And, of course, the taste of humans always great, even if they're a little cursedy.
Maybe she just means if we lose, we have to help her hunt down the food.
Yeah, sure, you can take it that way. I'll let you believe whatever you want. It's a free country.
You really want to risk it?
You know what? what? No, I'm not letting another witch boss me around. I'm taking her down.
I can see why she messed with you. All right, let's get to it then.
Okay.
Yes. Want to get wild? Let's get wild.
Scrunt, if he loses, I'm jumping in this water and swimming away.
Jeez.
I'll be a step ahead of you.
I'm going to use the boat. Because it's a boat.
I'm almost certain that it's faster to swim. Oh no!
Wait, are we trying to flee?
No.
No.
Hey, we're gonna fight. We're just.
Edmund picked a fight.
Oh, it's the anxiety boss music. Great.
This is Danger from Secret of Mana.
Yeah, the anxiety boss music. Or as I saw somebody put it somewhere, this is the track that plays when you're in traffic and you need to use the bathroom really badly.
For real, for real.
Oh, looks like we're all ready.
Yeah.
Order.
Yep.
Alright. I think Edmund's first.
Yeah, looks like he's the leader.
All right, Edmund's charging right in with an attack.
That's appropriate.
Oh yeah, I'm already on the page.
That hits.
Ooh.
And your high roll was... Oh, so it does it for me. Okay. So, 10 damage. Very nice.
Ha! First strike's mine.
Nice, strong lad. I can see that this is gonna be quite fun. What should I do first? I think it would be fun.
Theoretically? How do I make spell happen? You want make spell happen? Spell do thing. Clicking thing. Do spell. Fuck it. Ins plus willpower.
Did you
Jesus,
input the
Oliver.
modifier?
I believe so.
Even if it's just 0, because we were struggling with that last
Oh,
night.
then no, that's true. All right, well, this is me learning character sheets. There we go.
Hey!
Toasty.
That's she hits Edmund with a fireball.
God
Jesus
damn.
Christ.
All right, and that ties with my magic defense.
So yeah, I'm sorry. that's 29 damage. Did you enchant your armor at all?
I think just my sword.
All right, well, knowledge for next time, because otherwise you could have that. All right, next in the turn order.
It's a tie between me and Scrunt. Would you like to go first, Scrunt?
What is your initiative? Do you have a -2 at all?
I do.
Okay, what's your minus?
-1.
Hold on, really quick. I can invoke my painful lesson trait right now.
Okay.
Alright, go for it.
I just need to do a double initiative for study, or insight for study. See if that gives us anything.
This is horrible.
6 is probably too low.
It is too low, unfortunately.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, is it Scrunt going first?
I have a -3, so Bright Eyes.
Okay, Bright Eyes is going first.
Okay. She's gonna encourage Edmund. Which, does this? There we go. You get 15 hit points back, and you can choose Dexterity, Insight, Might, or Willpower, and you treat that as a die size higher than you have it right now.
Fuck yeah, that's a good spell.
Alright. So 15 more HP?
Yep, you get 15 HP back, and I believe you use a D10 for your attacks. You can now use a D12.
Yeah. Do that temporarily.
And she just kind of calls you. It's like, Edmund, we're all here for you. And then she turns to Scrunt and goes, unfortunately.
Well, I didn't know you could post skills like that.
I put it in as a spell. I wasn't sure if it was going to work, but that way I could show it to you easier. So.
Kick ass. That's good thinking.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should do that for my abilities too.
Peg cackles.
Oh, look at you! You're already becoming a team. Oh, I miss my friends.
And then she waves her hand, and a bunch of sparkles appear in front of her, and the air sort of shimmers. And that's her turn.
Uh-oh.
Alright. Bippity boppity, it's my turnity. I'm gonna try smacking her.
That hits.
Okay, so that is a good 7 damage.
All right, you dragon slap this witch.
Oh, that's smart.
I'm just imagining Scrunt's giving the sort of bearded dragon look of just unimpressed.
Then Peg looks at Charles and is like, "You big boy, you've got a lot of health, don't you? Lots of vigor?
Oh no.
Is that a yes?
Eh.
Does that beat your magic defense?"
Hold on, let me see. Oh shoot, wrong page. My magic defense is a 10.
She tries to drain some of your HP away, but you resist it.
A little too beefy, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Surprised no one yelled at me for that one.
Sorry, there was a sleeper hit. It took me a while to get it. Okay. Then Mont Blanc.
I am going to activate my wonderful lore master thing that I just leveled up to be, useful more than once in combat. I am going to do a quick assessment. I'm going to spend 5 mind points. I'm going to choose Wonderful Peg here, and you can either reveal a trait or name a damage type and choose a creature you can see, and the GM reveals that creature's affinity towards that damage type. So I'd like to know Peg Prowler's affinity for fire.
Prowler doesn't have a specific magical affinity. She does have fire attacks, and she also has some attacks that would qualify as dark.
Okay.
Oh, and some that are qualify as ice. That might be
Cool.
giving you too much information, but I like to be nice.
That's fair. Mont Blanc's to be like, she's got spicy attacks and she's got some dark tricks up her sleeve. Be careful.
Sure do. This one, you go ahead, kid.
Damn.
Wait, who should say that to?
To you, Charles.
Yeah, I'm the last one. Just like, don't like that. Who has the I know, Scrunt, you've got absurd armor classes for magic and normal. Yeah, actually, I'll do it for the other 3. Your magic defense now counts as 12.
Shit.
Nice.
Nice.
Ooh.
That's nice.
Developing into a
And
proper team,
I,
aren't we?
Sorry, what?
Developing into a proper team, aren't we?
I mean, when things keep trying to eat us while we travel together, it's kind of a requirement. Have you seen the dogs lately?
Oh, I've heard there's lots of Fenris broods about, but they haven't come to my island.
There's
That's a
this
shame.
giant.
I love a good
Wolf.
doggo.
There's one that looks like the pack leader that's been trying to chase us. So if we linger around too long, you'll get to meet it.
That'd be wonderful.
4, 5.
Can't
Edmund, it's
swim.
back to you. Oh, don't say that.
Just
man.
keep kicking her warty bunion.
Let me see. That beats her defense, so yeah, you're good.
All right, 12 more
Yours
damage.
has a better magic
Damn.
defense.
God, this music's horrible. I mean, it's already kind of horrible.
It's good,
But damn.
Like I said, it's the anxiety music.
BT, who should I freeze?
Oh no.
Who is she talking to?
Edmund! Edmund, who should I freeze?
Bring it.
I mean, you're looking. Sure, alright.
Does that hit you, Edmund? Is your magic and defense lower than 4?
Now
No, it's 12
12.
now.
Fuck yeah! Alright.
Oh, good! You resisted that one! Oh, this might be too easy. Next up, come on! Keep the ball rolling! You silly little
Why
lizard
is
boy!
she
Oh, no, wait, no, it was you!
Yeah, it was me.
The one with the bright eyes!
I'm just gonna keep cheering for Edmund. It's like, go for it! Get her! You're
That's
doing a
nice,
good
it's
job.
good to have friends.
Is that more 15 more HP?
15 more HP, yeah.
Ooh, nice.
This doesn't cost that much, so it's like, why the fuck not?
Feel bad about doing this then.
Oh wow.
She sucks 10 of your HP away. Oh, sorry, she she
That's a
removes
crit.
10 of your HP.
Jesus Christ. Alright.
From who?
Me, I think.
She
No,
targeted
no,
bright eyes.
Edmund, she's going after Edmund.
Oh, okay, okay.
So Edmund, you lose 10 HP.
Okay.
Kinda going through it, aren't you?
I'm gonna invoke, what is it called? Painful Lesson again.
Painful lesson, painful lesson, painful lesson, painful lesson.
Sorry, man.
Nope.
Sad.
Okay.
Edge.
Bard, play the spot.
We'll get it there eventually. All right. Who's
The modifier.
It's me.
Yeah, come on, Scrunt.
All right, I'm gonna smack her again. Does that hit?
Let's hit.
It does.
All right, that does.
Cool.
So you smack once again.
Mhm.
Your scales are so rough.
Thank you.
Alright, I feel like this isn't gonna be too bad. Like that, lizard.
Nope.
Your magic defense is higher than 14?
Yes.
Holy shit. God bless you, Scrunt.
Yeah.
He really
The
is
giant
taking
bull
his
in armor carrying a tower shield isn't as well armored as the thing.
I spent half
Miss
my
Montblanc,
money
do your thing.
on armor.
Oh, great. My thing.
I think I'm going to prep a dodge roll just in case. I haven't done that enough. I need to get in the habit.
Ooh. I don't need this one. Go ahead, Charles.
I was starting to feel a little like, not like annoyed that she's like just, what is it? You know,
Dismissing?
pitying him. It feels like. So he's just gotta. Damn it!
That hits.
Oh,
She's not heavily armored. She's an old woman.
Fair.
So are you hitting her with your shield or your staff?
no, it's with the staff. Just like,
All right.
just the very simple like sprite. Just walk overhead, bonk.
That officially puts her in crisis. At which point she's like,
Okay, that was good. Stretching the old bones. Okay, give me a second. I'll go in the hut and get some things for you.
Oh. I don't know
Peg
what to think about
disappears.
this.
And then you hear there's a sound effect I really wish I could find. In Persona 4, there's this fox character that does this really cute call whenever it shows up to help you out. And I couldn't find that sound effect isolated, and it makes me very, very unhappy as a human being. But you hear this little and the Enfield just pops up out of the woods.
Oh, hello again.
And it walks up to you all, and you see that it's got, like, a little bundle of rags in its mouth.
Mm.
What you got there, little buddy?
I'm glad you made it free from the wolf.
It nods, and it drops the bag and nudges it towards you all.
Mhm.
Do you open it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Inside the bundle are 5 glittering little healing potions.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
Ooh. Okay.
thank you very much, friend.
Just to restore you back to full. And then the Enfield flies away.
What a helpful
Hold on to
little
that, I
friend.
didn't take any damage.
I can speak the languages of monsters and beasts and plants, and it still just makes fox noises.
Maybe it just wants to make fox noises.
Absolutely fair. That or foxes have a language that of their own that we just don't know yet.
Oh,
Things to learn.
perfect.
I mean, do you always make words when you make noises, or do you sometimes do a grunt or a groan or a? I'm
I
back,
do.
by the way.
Occasionally,
Right.
yes.
Are you ready to continue this?
Yes, I am.
Here you go, and she hands you a letter. It's got a wax seal which has been pressed with like the girliest little heart you've ever seen. The parchment has been dyed a light pink and smells faintly of perfume. And though you can't see what's written on the inside, just looking at it in the light, you think that it might have been written with ink that glitters.
Recommendation.
Oh,
And here, she hands you a scroll, is a map to good old Nellie's.
Which means that now, on our world map, it is updated to reveal the location of Nellie Longarms.
Nice.
Looking at it, you will see that the easiest way to get to Nellie would be to go to Langchild and hike up or sail up. Sailing would be quicker, but possibly more dangerous, although with that ravening beast out, going through the woods doesn't really seem that safe either.
It evens out about 50-50.
you like the pumpkin stew before you go?
So long as there's not anything questionable in it.
Let's see. There's pumpkins. There's cucumbers. There's some spices. And there's chicken stock.
That actually
That's-
sounds good.
That sounds rather delightful. If you wouldn't mind the company.
Sit by my fire. Have a bowl.
I actually had perhaps a deal or a trade I wanted to speak with you about. These are some excellent looking pumpkins, and back home I have a farm. I don't raise gourds, but I know a friend of mine would be very interested. Perhaps we could do a trade, some seeds.
Yes, of course. I love dealing with farmers. Salt of the earth, you know. And they always tend to come up with the cleverest solutions to whatever problems you throw at them.
Don't have much to trade except, well, dirt.
She grabs one of the smallest pumpkins. She bashes it open, grabs a fistful of the seeds, picks them out of the pumpkin guts, grabs a pouch from underneath her little butt skirt thing. I don't know what you call that thing. I know it should have a name, probably.
So,
Yeah, her bustle. That is exactly the name. Yeah, you're right. She grabs a pouch from under her bustle. She puts the seeds in it, ties the pouch up, hands it to you.
There you go, sweetie.
and Charles does the same with the pouch of.
No. You keep that.
Oh, all right.
I can see that has some great significance. And Nellie's pumpkins grow just fine. It's because I bury people under here.
That makes a lot of
Explains
sense.
why the stew smells so rich.
People in the stew? That'd be really messed up, wouldn't it?
You did introduce yourself talking about maybe eating us, so
Joke, dearie! Didn't think I'd actually do it.
looks at the group,
I mean,
looks back. Oh no, not at all.
Mom Bog is just over here in the background, like, there's no reason to assume she would have eaten us. That's weird. She's a person.
I can't help but get the feeling you were kind of playing around with us the whole time.
I'm bored out here, you know?
You didn't know Raxi had removed her heart. That was what, 30 years? So yeah, you've been out here for a while.
Peg Prowler's not as spry as she used to be.
Did you know the
Egled's
king
getting a
dead?
little... The what?
The king's dead.
Oh, I think I remember Anne talking about that. She's pretty concerned. I don't really care. What's the point of a king anyway? Just some idiot in a fancy hat.
Apparently the hat has powers.
Oh, yes, tied to the land and all that. The silly thing. If you're magical enough, the land ties itself to you.
Good to know. Miss Prowler, may I ask a small request of you?
Dearie, anything for an apprentice?
Like, he's about to go
Apprentice?
speak, and there's a look that crosses Montblanc's face that suddenly vanishes later. Like, we'll figure that feeling out later.
Charles straight up says it out loud. Apprentice?
He's got one of our books.
And she points to the grimoire that you've been using. The one you've been drawing creatures in.
It does blink.
Yes, I know those books. I helped bind them myself. It's been a while since we've added one to the coven.
Montblanc is in areas of shock and concern flashing across his face, and he just shakes his head. And he's like, would it be okay if I added you to the grimoire? Or the book?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Let's see what happens.
He's like sitting next to her, like flipping through the pages, and like shows her Edmund's page. Like, it did that. Like, it's still going in circles. But he flips to a page that was specifically when we talked with Sycorax. She mentioned the names, so he just saved pages for like Peg Prowler and Long Arm Nelly and Jenny Green Teeth. So he starts to sketch Peg Prowler on Peg Prowler's page.
On her page it says Margaret. Description. Beloved age-old friend. Delightful laughter. A willingness to overcome any adversity. She's the joy and the laughter of our group. Ah, sweet Peg. How many a night we've spent together, watching the stars. And you get sort of an overwhelming feeling of warm affection from the book, radiating from it as easily as it would from a human being.
Oh. And he's going to show Peg because he's shown everybody his grimoire. They just can't have his grimoire. And it's even got your name Margaret in it correctly.
If I write a little back?
Oh, yeah, no, go ahead.
And then she hands the book back to you. Do you read what it says?
Yeah.
It is the filthiest limerick you've ever seen written.
And one point
And the reply back to it is like, "Oh, Peggy, you old charmer."
Mont Blanc's face goes from normal skin tone to beet red, and he just kind of closes the book real quick.
What did she write?
There once was a man from Nantucket.
And your imagination can fill in the rest.
She just kind of files that away and goes, "Oh, that's a good one, actually."
It was a good limerick, but not what I was expecting.
You don't get what's expected of old Peg.
Good to know.
So, you're not just trying to help good old Edmund here get his face back, right?
No, we're hunting after the crown jewels.
Ah, yep, okay. Pieces are falling into place now. I understand what's going on.
That happened actually.
Well, what progress have you made?
We've got 2 of the 7.
Pretty good. I think that's better than anyone's done in the last 7 years.
To be fair, it's been happening
Oh.
accidentally.
Speak up, Edmund. I couldn't hear you.
What do you mean last 7 years? What happened 7 years ago? Oh wait, never mind. I remember now, never mind.
Yeah, you're fine. I'll give you a mulligan on that one.
Yeah.
Accidentally or no, it's now becoming something on purpose, so I would suggest you put your mind to it.
We have a potential location for 2 more. And after that, that's where it gets interesting.
You find all 7.
Yep. We'll find
No.
all.
What happens when you find all 7?
Well, apparently, if we find somebody to be the new king, we can make this single sex better than this current state it's in.
Yeah, you might. If they're a good king. Do you know a good king yet?
No.
Yeah.
Add a drinkle for you, eh? Something to think about. Of course, can't get ahead of yourself. Have to get all the jewels and make the crown before you crown the king, but something to consider.
Yeah.
Something
I
to keep an
suppose
eye
you're
out for.
right.
Fight. Worked as a team. I think you need a bit more defenses, though. You should look for some enchanted materials.
Yes. There is an
Yeah.
enchanter back in the town we were last in. I believe.
We do have some Phoenix Ash.
That helps you
Gesture to
resist
the little
fire.
chick that we have.
Lovely little thing. When you grow up, you'd make a good stew, wouldn't you? Yes, and she's scratching under its chin. Then I think that should be one of your orders of business.
Could you even cook and eat a phoenix without it, like
Being ash.
turning to ash or reforming in your stomach?
If you give it the good old bonkus on the conkus while you're cooking it and then chop the head off, it won't have the ability to reform. That's the problem with phoenixes. They live so far away, they often don't breed the conventional way and just rely on the reincarnation. But if they die before they set off their little spark show, no more phoenix. Eventually, I think they're going to go extinct. So you take care of this sweet little bit. Let it grow big and strong. Maybe find another phoenix somewhere out there, eh? Yes, you sweet little thing. I think you have your heading. And I think you've got a good belly full of soup. Now you can stay with old Aunt Peg as long as you want, but I think you've got some business to attend to. Get to it!
Yes.
Yes. This was a surprising trip, but thank you very much.
Good manners. Those will become you well, sir.
Thank you for the hospitality.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yes,
course.
thank you.
It was quite
Well,
fun to visit.
Well, come back any time. You know, there are a few things sacred in this world, but hospitality is one of them.
And don't be afraid to go visit Raxi.
I have such fear, but these old bones don't travel as easily as they used to.
We could ask her to come to you.
Like that. I would like that. Well, old Peg's got some things to tend to, so
Okay.
I'm gonna go in my house, get the fuck off my property.
Sure thing, Peg.
Fine, fine.
And watch out for the ravening beast.
Okay!
All right.
Squeeze on the boat.
Okay.
Well, in a way, it was easier than I expected, but also, I feel like, also taught a thing or two. So it's shopping time!
Shopping time! It's shopping time!
It would make sense to get our armor enchanted before we help the knight.
Yeah. And I will say that you have another dose of Phoenix Ash now to use for enchanting stuff.
Okay, I was just looking, so how much does it cost again to enchant our weapons?
So to enchant a weapon, or an armor, or a shield, it costs 1 dose of Phoenix Ash.
Oh, it doesn't cost any zenny or gold?
Nope, he just does the ash and all that. He does not charge for the actual enchanting. He's very
Okay.
kind that way.
Yes. I'm gonna buy a broad axe and also enchant it to deal fire damage.
Hell yeah.
Because I just was looking at like that's a better actually weapon for me than the sword.
Fuck yeah. Also, it's rad as hell to think of a big leopard man with an axe.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's down 1 ash.
Mm-hmm.
I think. Oh wait, that's Marshall, so I can't even use it. Never mind.
I kind of want that Umbral shield, but that would break me.
In a good way or a bad way?
I mean, it's 800 and I have 730.
Yeah, are you guys including the 2,000 Zenet you got from,
Yeah, that's what I split up.
Wait, did you mean that a piece?
400 each?
No, it's between all of you.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, because yeah, we split that up.
400 each, and I already added that.
I'm not giving you 2,000 apiece. You'd buy the end game stuff too early.
Yeah.
How much
I
do you have,
figured.
Zero?
Was it
How much do you have?
7:30?
Okay.
I will say this: there is also the possibility that you will reach another town with its own shops today. So, like, you might want to save
Yeah.
your money.
Yeah.
That's what I'm kind
Um,
of thinking.
I'm still gonna go with the Broad Axe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not saying the Umbral Shield is not a good buy, because it is. You're going to be facing a lot of creatures with dark type attacks, so it would be useful. But, like, if you want to save it for something else, it wouldn't necessarily be a bad idea either. And while you guys figure that out, I'm going to quick open my window because it's cooler outside than it is inside.
That is fair.
I think I'm going to wait. But if you do want that shield, you would just have to ask her to help.
I can wait to see what's at the next one. Because if they don't have like a fancy shield there, I'll just do the Phoenix Ash on the shield if there's a smithy in the next town.
Fair.
Right back.
I just realized the last two big fights sort of ended when Charles just was like, "All right, that's enough," walked up and bonked him over the head with a stick.
If it works, it works.
Both times he was at the bottom of the initiative, so it just came out that way.
Bonk.
Bonk.
If we were to if we enchant like our armor or something using the Phoenix Ashes, that would just give it fire resistance, right?
Yes. So when you enchant your armor or your shield, it gives you fire resistance. When you enchant your weapon, it makes the weapon fire aligned.
Okay.
And increases the damage by 2 points. So if it's high roll plus 5, it's now high roll plus 7.
Oh, okay. I know that part.
Yeah.
Then I'll add that. I'm not going to enchant armor. I think the problem with getting any other armor is that the starter stuff Edmund can't equip. Nicer stuff anyway.
Yes.
You don't got the martial armor yet?
Nope.
Well, in time.
Yeah, the axe should be helpful.
What are your class? What's your class layout?
Mine?
Yeah.
Currently, I am Fury and Dark Knight, or whatever it's called.
Darkblade has martial armor and martial melee weapons.
I didn't. Maybe I missed that.
So does Fury.
Yep,
So you
gain
should-
the ability to equip martial melee weapons and martial armor.
Yeah, you should be good.
Oh. Well, then I totally missed that.
I think I'm the only one that can't.
I can't.
Oh, well, there we go.
I just have basic hand attacks.
Yeah, we need to get Scrunch some kind of weapon to make his slaps better.
I mean, there are. There's a lot of gauntlets, and we can just say Chronos Trigger style. That just means that you're hitting better harder.
Enchant them with the gloves so you do fire slaps. Very dragony.
Yeah.
Knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a smack.
Oh, wait. Yeah, I do have martial armor. I don't know what I was thinking. Okay. So, in addition, then, I should upgrade armor.
Get that good shit.
Yeah, I should take a look.
I'm going to lose a little initiative, but that seems to be just fine, honestly, in this system.
And everyone can make a double insight check while they're in the smithy, if they would like.
Eh,
Okay.
why not? Oh,
Respect.
Yeah, double inspect. No, double insight. Yeah. Brainworky well. Okay, shit. Anyone else getting on this, or just you three?
I threw in.
Okay. Bright Eyes, Charles, you two see the remains of a set of armor you recognize because a poltergeist recently used it to try to kill you. There's a suit of armor in Peralt livery, which is to say two tones of blue, that seems to have been pried apart at the seams and had some of its pieces removed.
Okay.
And that's just a fun thing for you to know. While
That
we're
was Leonie's armor she had, right?
the one that she took after the poltergeist dropped it, yeah. I mean, granted, technically it was the Baron's armor or the Baron's servant's armor.
Upgraded to runic armor. I assume we can't like resell old armor.
No, you can. I think standard, RPG rules, you resell it for half price.
Okay, I'm gonna say combat to instead.
Yeah, and I think if it's enchanted, like the price goes up. With the basic bitch enchantments that we've been doing so far, I'd say the price goes up by 100 zenny, so you would get an extra 50 zenit back.
Okay.
So yeah. And we're enchanting Mont Blanc's robes for him.
Yes, that would be appreciated. I'd like
Hey,
to
you're
have
back
the
already.
fireproof.
And Grunt, were you getting iron knuckles?
Wait 1 second. Let me open up the fabulous.
Page 130. It's same as the unarmed strike, but you do a high roll +6 instead of high roll +0.
Because you've got 2 pieces of iron wrapped around your knuckles to punch people with real good.
Sure, why not?
Oh,
And
like
that's just
iron
what
claws, you get your claws shod.
Yeah, that's just you can flavor it however you want.
Gonna sharpen claws now.
Good. That's about all of the shopping we're doing, I'm guessing. Anyone else want something enchanted?
I'm
1 second.
gonna
Go
pull it back
on,
until
Stefan.
next town.
Fair enough.
Okay.
That's front is just this little tank.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's really like the cockroach from Wall-E where it's just tiny and indestructible.
Yeah.
Well, it feels very Midgeheimer dragons. They're just very hard to kill.
How much Phoenix ash do we have?
7 left? Or no, 6 if once Mont Blanc gets his enchanted.
Yes.
I kind of want to enchant the gauntlets to be light damage.
Materials for that yet. We don't got materials for it. You
okay.
can't do anything. You gotta you can do fire right now because you've got a phoenix giving you
Okay.
ash, but you're eventually gonna have access to other resources.
Okay. Then I got nothing. I am
Yeah,
content
we
with
also
just...
still have fancy clothing.
Yeah.
Nice.
I just saw it on my inventory list.
I mean, you could also keep that as a memento and a possible helpful thing if you meet more rich fucks.
Mhm.
Yeah, it
Oh
could
yeah,
be
no,
helpful.
keeping it. I wasn't selling that. I'm keeping that.
So if we're done with shopping, are we doing our other side quests or are we going to Grimhelm?
Do we want to go on the... I mean, Mont Blanc wants to go on the side quest because he wants to sketch the thing.
Sure.
And it would...
We would be able to guarantee the survival of the beast.
Yeah, that too.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's also to our advantage if that rich bastard in Summerlee has one of the crown jewels, if we are on his good side to start with.
As much as I don't like it.
All right. So you go to the Centralon Inn and Tavern, looking for George Garston, but you don't see any guys wearing plate mail armor with giant fucking, like, foot-long spikes sticking out of it, which you feel is pretty easy to find.
Mm-hmm.
And you suddenly realize you never really saw him take the armor off.
Maybe if we stand around looking clueless, we can find him faster.
Wait, maybe he was the singer.
You do see that middle-aged singing guy is sitting at a large table with a lot of people swarming it, including some who have pulled up chairs to sit at it. And there's a lot of chatter and laughter from there.
Oh, Zeus, you're
If this
right.
guy's the talk of the pub, this is our best guess.
So what'd you do then, George? What'd you do then? Well, it was a rather simple thing. I had studied the tale of Bellerophon. The creature charged at me, mouth agape, and I lifted up the lance and thrust it forward. That's the Dragon Slayer's main avenue of attack, as it were. Dragons tend to be hard on the outside, but on the inside, very soft and vulnerable, like all things have to be. And after that, the creature writhed and died, and it was a simple matter of breaking free the chains and returning the woman to her village. And did you marry her, George? Did you marry her? No, I actually find that rather uncouth. I know some Dragon Slayers demand maidens as payment, but I find that sort of sketchy. I did demand that they stop sacrificing people when they have animal problems. Like, common tactic these days.
Sir George!
And please, everyone, make room for my friends here. Edmund, Montblanc. Out of character, did Bright Eyes and Charles introduce themselves?
No.
Don't recall, actually. Charles is polite and is into the whole hospitality thing. I mean, he kind of has to be where he comes from, but he probably would have introduced himself.
Charles, their quiet companion, and of course, dear old Scrunt.
Squirt's wearing his disguise.
Scrunt, how was the farm?
It's good.
It's wonderful. So you're not having problems with the beetles on your crops like you told me?
No, I am not.
Oh, good then.
Way to deal with them.
Good to hear that, Scrunt. So, have you five considered my offer? Hitting the meat a little hard, I suppose.
Yes, we would love to accompany you on a quest for Paluda.
Quite smashing. All right. Well, I say, give me some of that strong tea. We'll sober me up a bit, and then we'll head out. Do you need libations, food. Better to hunt on a full stomach.
Oh, we had pumpkin stew pretty recently. It was pretty good.
Good pumpkin stew. Really fond of a good pumpkin pie, actually.
I haven't had pumpkin pie in ages.
Maybe we'll have some of that on the way to Summerlee.
It's hard to
Fair.
find good pumpkin pie.
He's given a mug of tea, which he downs despite it being steaming hot. Beats his chest. All right, I'm gonna go to my room, get into my work outfit, and then we'll head out, and I'll tell you the plan. Won't be but a moment. And he jots off, and the other people at the table all go, "Aww," as their local hero has dashed off and is now going to leave the bar for a bit. I wanted to hear more about how he killed things and rescued damsels. I wanted to sing that song again about the worm. We can't sing it 15 times in one day. 14's enough. Oh. And in about 20 minutes, George Garson clomps down the stairs in his armor. All right, everyone, out of the way. I can't actually feel the tips of these things. I don't want to stab anyone on accident.
That would be
Leaving
bad
gouges in
behavior.
the hallways as he's walking down.
He's done this long enough where he's pretty good at maneuvering with it, but still, like, he's covered in spikes, some of which are literally a foot long.
He goes through the doorway of the
Try-
tavern, and there's just groove marks where his spikes go.
And Shrikes just follow him constantly with their food.
Got a big lance. All right, I'm ready. Are you?
Yes.
Silver bean.
Earl
We
was kind
are.
of impressed he was able to don the armor without a squire that fast.
Lots of training, Been doing this for, 80 years.
Huh?
And there is the pause. Huh.
It's a
Yeah, some looks. It's actually kind of eerie. When you were seeing him unarmored, your gut reaction is that he's middle-aged, that he's roughly in his 40s or 50s. But there are times he has an energy of a man in his 20s. And there are other times where there's just a haggard weariness, particularly in his eyes, that seems befitting only of a very, very old man.
All right.
Well versed in magic, are you?
I can't say I am. I mean, I've met a few wizards in my time. I suppose dragons are magic, so I'm well versed in dragons, so in that respect. But if you want me to cast a spell, I'm afraid I have very little knowledge and even less ability.
Charles kind of leans over to Montblanc and whispers just enough so that maybe just him and maybe Bright Eyes can hear it. Goes, going to guess killing so many dragons leached off on him. Bathing in that much blood leaves a stain.
It does, but I'd have to ask the book to find out if he would count technically as a page. That's the line I draw.
Are we ready to sit down?
Yes, of course.
ready.
All right.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, so George Garson leads you into the wilderness near some rocky crags. He says, "All right, so I have fought a Paluda in this area. Well, I'd say 30 years back, give or take. The creature had been attacking travelers on the road. It had a broken tusk, you see. That's the problem with animals. They become an issue when they themselves are weakened. A lion, a tiger, a dragon, they prefer to hunt more viable prey than human beings. Humans are dangerous and low reward as a foodstuff. As such, when an animal begins hunting humans, by preference, or even exclusively, that is a sign the animal itself is undergoing some great stress or strain, that its life has been reduced to something wretched. Sorry, I'm speaking too much, but the point is, I know that there are pollutas in this area. That creature had to have come from somewhere. And so it's my belief that we can catch the thing. Now, the specific variety of polluta I am seeking has very short legs and a very short neck. So my idea is, if we can lure it into a pit that we've made, it will be stuck, which will either allow it to tire itself out naturally, at which point in its exhaustion we can capture it, or at the very least render it mostly immobile and more easy for us to subdue without killing the beast.
That makes sense as a plan. You talked about the polluta. At least a previous one was causing trouble, but this one... Is this one doing that too? I can't recall.
No, the Dragon Slaying costs money, and while the kingdom likes having a famous Dragon Slayer, they don't necessarily like footing the bill in times of crisis. And so I have been taking up some mercenary work as of late for the... Well, he's not a knight yet, but Peter Hammerschmidt of Summerlee. He's been asking me to capture some wild beasts for his menagerie. And I do have some funds I need to recoup. Which is why I really do want aid in making sure this is a live capture. Not only because Peter wants a live polluta, but because this creature has not done harm. It has not killed anyone. It has not gone out of its habitat and into ours. It's not hurting peasants. It's not killing children. It's living its life. And I feel that if we simply subdue it and locate it to Summerlee's menagerie where it will be fed and cared for, that's roughly a lateral move.
Yeah.
There is wisdom
okay.
to your words.
I can get behind that.
So, our first course of action will be to dig a pit. I have an idea of how large it should be. I would say, if each square here, if we were to say six the squares on this grid of this map that we're looking at are 6 by 6 feet. We need an 18 by 18 square. So sort of this situation. Let me see. I've got some shovels, and we can get digging.
All right.
Probably not right here, though. My idea is to give us a nice choke point, so we'll start here. This way, if it manages to catch on to our ruse, we should still be safe.
This is familiar. This is more familiar to Charles than this adventuring stuff he's been having to do.
Yeah, so I'm going to say, Charles, for you, I'm not going to make you roll to help dig a hole because you're a farmer. You know this shit. For everyone else, I'm going to...
my highest attribute.
If you want to dig it just to see how fucking... You know what? We could do this a group check with Charles as the leader. It'd be double might.
Okay.
And let's say difficulty level 12. Well...
Double might.
Holy shit.
What the fuck? Alright.
Holy shit.
We really want to dig that hole.
Diggy hole, goddamn.
Bright Eyes, what the fuck are you doing? Nice. Jesus.
Everyone.
We really want to make
Okay.
this hole so that this thing can burn itself.
This is the only check where every single person has passed the roll.
Team Rocket is so impressed with us right now.
It's a 20 by 20 hole.
You fucking diggy that hole.
Jesus Christ.
George crosses his hands over and is like, that is one hell of a pit. Alright. Now, we're going to need to gather some sticks and some leaves and make a nice covering of it so it doesn't look like a pit to our Paluda. We have to make sure this looks as convincing as possible. So
Does
we can't...
does Mont Blanc's critical success mean anything?
Yeah, I'm gonna say that and also the fact that all of you rolled above 10, Jesus Christ. Like, all of you succeeded. I'm gonna say this is going to be a very good fucking pit.
Okay.
So now we have to disguise the pit. So we need to gather sticks and brush and leaves and create a shallow covering, which will snap under the Paluda's weight, but will look enough like the ground that the Paluda will be tricked.
Wait a fucking second. I just realized something. This is out of character. Are we fucking Jesse, James, and Meowth?
Yep.
We're digging
Actually
up
going-
to catch something.
I was actually going more for Monster Hunter.
But with how good we dug that hole?
I mean,
That's why I said they'd be impressed.
Ash is fucked. We're not just taking Pikachu, we're gonna fucking leave that son of a bitch to starve.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, fuck you, kid. Give me your fucking rat and die.
Perish.
Alright, so how...
Would that be a craft roll?
So, it depends on your approach. What are you specifically doing to help cover the pit? Tell me that each for your characters, and I'll tell you what you roll for it. Because we're not D&D, we get to make this shit up. So if you want, like, if you can think of something really clever that works to your strengths, we can do that instead of the standard roll for it, the standard craft roll. If craft rolling does play to your strengths, though, feel free to just, craft, pit, disguise.
I want to go out and gather larger logs to kind of be like the main kind of covering sort of thing.
You did just get an axe.
Say
Yeah.
insight plus might.
Okay. Can I also... I think you gave me a +2 for my background for rolls in the wilderness.
That's true. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. You are a hunter. You would know this shit.
Okay.
You are the woodsman that the beast has.
In fact-
that the big bad wolf is after.
You've probably done a smaller scale version of this exact style animal trap before. It is
Right.
like a pit trap as a common hunter's trick for larger game.
I explain why Edmund rolled a 19.
Yeah.
Double might.
So, I would like to roll a craft roll, but I want to give you my pitch for giving me some bonus to it.
Do it.
She's been by herself out in the woods for a couple months now, having to teach herself how to make traps like this on a smaller scale. She would know how to cover it to make it look like a natural bit of just
Especially
land.
because those fucking rabbits are goddamn sharp.
Yeah. So would you be able to use that knowledge that she gained to be able to cover this?
Absolutely, I'm cool giving you a +2 bonus to help that.
All right, sweet. Everything is an 8 for me, so.
Whoa, we can use Fabula points to reroll things. Interesting.
Yep.
Okay.
11, not bad.
Awesome. I don't think we really need help at this point, but if anyone else has a fun thing they want to do to contribute.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Not that I can think of.
Excellent.
It is weird to
George looks at your excellent pitfall trap. He's like, "This is marvelous. This is going so damn well." All right. we're going to find a nice hiding spot. I'm going to say, here. Find these bushes. And, once you're all there, I'm going to quick light the fragrance fumes just here. And get back into our hiding place. Now, it's a little-known fact about dragons. They are fond of gathering herbs and lighting them on fire to enjoy the particular aroma that the herbs give when they burn, much like we do with incense. The scent of these burning herbs can be used as a lure in some cases. Now, I don't know for certain whether this will work on our particular quarry, but it may just well be the trick. Oh, I didn't biggie size you correctly. So let's biggie size you a little bit. There we go. That's a bit better. And soon enough, you see this enormous lizard-like dragon. It's got a huge squat body. Its scales are orange and red, with long yellow spines growing out of its armored carapace. Its long tail has armor that's so thick and jagged that it actually clacks as it swings side to side like a suit of human armor. And the horns around its head are huge and enormous to protect its neck, which is also covered in spikes, so it's very much like overkill. The creature's fangs have curved into tusks for gouging the earth to get roots and tubers. Mm-hmm. It's clear that this dragon is omnivorous rather than strictly carnivorous. And as it moves around, it sniffs the air by sticking out its tongue and tasting its scent particles, and finally comes across a small bit of incense here, and moves towards it. And because you guys got all those rolls so good, it falls into the trap so deeply that it's like completely wedged in with its head and tail sticking up a little bit. And we don't have to have a combat.
Nice.
There are other ways this could have gone, and like depending on how you did things, if it took too long, it might have snuck up behind you guys while you were working. But instead, you get this guy in a pit trap.
Nudge Mont Blanc.
Oh, Mont Blanc's already got the book open and is sketching the Paluda.
Now, can one of you sneak up on the beast and spray this? And he's got like a water skin. Spray this on its face so that we can get it to sleep quicker. That way it doesn't overexert itself trying to escape. I would do it, but I would do it, but I'm not exactly inconspicuous while wearing this.
I oppose. I don't sneak.
That's fair, my good friend. Your value lies elsewhere. Anyone good at being a sneaky little sneaker?
Everyone turns to scrubs.
I was looking at Bright Eyes myself.
Yeah, I'm playing towards Bright Eyes.
I think this is all you.
Yeah, the one that didn't want to do this in the first place.
Yep.
There's a complicated expression on her face when she takes the spray.
Charles would, but he's in the same position as Garster. He can't sneak with this get up.
When you take the bag, your cat suddenly grabs it out of your hands, leaps off, and runs to the Paluda. And it goes right up to the Paluda. When the Paluda looks at the cat, it snaps its beak for a second before looking at it more thoughtfully, and it stops its struggling and listens as the cat meows at it. And the Paluda closes its eyes somewhat resignedly, lays its head down, and allows the cat to spray the liquid onto its nostrils, at which point it falls into a sleep. Ha! A very well-trained feline!
He's very smart.
Smartest cat I've met.
And the cat returns, and it kind of glares at George while handing you, Bright Eyes, the water skin.
Take the water skin and also pick the cat up, like, and just kind of whisper, "Is that all right? I guess it was. You wouldn't have done it if it wasn't." And she puts him back on her backpack.
Pet the creature if I wasn't covered in armor. All right. Now the really hard part. Getting it out. Thank God it's got those spikes.
We probably should have brought a cart.
No, don't worry, I've got this coming. He wraps some ropes around it, like he climbs up on top of the sleeping Paluda, wraps ropes in very tight, like sailor's knots around the spikes until he's got like two really good, like corded ropes together. And then single-handedly, he begins tugging the ropes, not even asking for assistance, and manages to lift the Paluda out of the pit. Let's get this thing home. We can get it to Peralt to get a nice cage built, and then I can get it over to Summerlee.
Jeez.
Another piece of evidence in the corrupted by Dragonblood theory.
Mont Blanc is going to lean in to Bright Eyes and be like, "Are we sure he's still human?"
Just kind of, her lips are pressed into a very thin line. No, I'm not.
Because that is the strongest 80-year-old I've ever laid my eyes on.
Mont Blanc.
Yes.
He hasn't been dragon slaying his whole life. He's only been dragon slaying 80 years.
Wait, he's only been dragon slaying for 80 years. How old is George?
Okay.
Good question, isn't it?
Oh, this is quite a workout. So, how are you all doing? Did your friend's wedding happen yet?
No.
Said that with some apprehension.
The groom
Problem
had
with the
a bit of
nuptials?
difficulties with a knife.
Now, let's be fair.
Here throughout the town?
We did already tell the entire town already. The Baron was in fact a doppelganger, a type of vampire.
So your friend was marrying the Baron?
Yes.
Okay, good. That's canon now. Huh. Well, that would explain some things.
Like he went through so many wives.
Well, it's just the change of personality, really. You know, I met him when he was a young lad. Kind little whippersnapper, real bright, real happy, enthusiastic. Wanted to be a dragon slayer himself. And then I met him a bit later, and he was just this dour fellow, just all woe is me, and what, and to be quite frank, he was something of a bore. I was like, how did this little child lose that spark of life, that zest of youth?
Because he was pretending to be something he wasn't.
Or rather, someone else was pretending to be him.
So it was some sort of imposter situation?
Yes.
Yeah.
It had slain the original Baron and taken his place, pretending to be the Baron himself.
Dear Lord, so that poor dead then?
Yes.
Jeez, those aristocracies dropping like flies these days.
That it seems.
Yes.
Not to look at Edmund.
Trying not.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was
How
that
are
was.
you carrying that Paluda?
I'm sorry, that was very rude. How am I carrying? Oh, well, It's a sort of it's a question I get sometimes. I suppose I am a bit stronger than the average person. Someone told me once that magic attunes to humans in different ways. You know, some people are wizards and they can cast spells and all that, and some people it's more like it is with beasts, where you don't really know that you're connecting to magic, but you are, and it makes you stronger and live longer. It's why dragons live so long, Barghests live so long. They get larger, they get stronger, they survive things that mundane creatures would not. And this fellow said that he believed that I had that unique power. Now, at the time, I thought that was Balderdash, but I do have to admit, I remain young and spry, despite it all.
If it wasn't underneath the giant Paluda, Mont Blanc would probably be patting him on the shoulder sympathetically.
And also if his shoulder wasn't covered in giant iron spikes.
That's true as well, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
If that,
sympathetic nods.
If that is the case, I would say it is something of a curse.
I see.
But a necessary one. Someone has to keep the people safe, especially in times like these. And if George Garson has to still be kicking and doing his thing, then so be it.
Sympathetic nods, sympathetic nods.
You've seen a lot over your years, haven't you?
Yes, I have. I had to bury my wife 20 years ago. That's why I went on my little gallivant to Castellan. I needed to clear my mind of some things. And she aged as people normally do. She was old, and she thought I would tire of her, but there's not a day I go by where the ache doesn't hit. She lived a long life, happy life.
That's good.
There's not much for me now at home. Only the work. Only the work!
Yeah, the work. Right.
The things to keep you busy, of course. Those are important.
Not about busyness. It's about keeping people safe.
Right, well, I guess we should help you get this Paluda to town?
You said that you were up last night, then? Did you see the beast again?
Yes. After we dealt with the doppelganger, it came and destroyed the old manor.
Oh.
No one was hurt in that, though. Our friend we were able to escort out safely, and no one else lived in the building, so...
Marvelous, marvelous. How did it destroy a house?
Well, huffed and puffed and blew it all down.
Like it released a vast quantity of air from its lungs?
Some, yes.
Yeah.
I'm afraid we didn't actually see how it destroyed it.
We saw it
That's
huffing
what
and
it
puffing.
sounded like.
We heard that as we went down and into the catacombs, which were luckily more structurally sound than the house.
Can you do me a favor? I've been thinking since we met last, when you talked about whether or not I should do In the Beast. And again, wolves are not my speciality, but the more I've learned about what's going on in Angle 6, the more it seems this kingdom is in dire need of help, and there are very precious few people out there trying to help it. And I can slay monsters, and this thing is a monster, and it's attacking people. It's a man-eater. So if you could record everything you know about it, Next time, if our paths cross again, I would love to hear any observations you've had, so that perhaps I could slay the beast.
Mont Blanc gives a small smile and nods. It's like, when we get back to town and assemble the cage before we part ways, I can share what I already have.
All right. Quite splendid. Well, now that your friend's wedding is cancelled, what are your plans?
Heading to Summerlee next.
Summerlee?
Isn't it Grimhelm first?
Well, Grimhelm's on
Wait,
the way, Summerlee.
Yeah, what was the next one on the road?
Next would be Grimhelm.
Heading that way.
I'm gonna go with Charles said Grimhelm.
Well, it's going to take a bit of time to get a functioning cage and cart for this creature, but I will eventually be making my way to Summerlee. I'll pass through Grimhelm, but I won't be able to tarry long. If you do end up in Summerlee, seek me out. We can catch up, talk about our travels. Needn't all be business. We can just talk about how things are if you're in the mood for it. Otherwise, good to be with you. And may your travels be safe, and may the road rise up to meet you.
And
Thank
you as
you
well.
very much, Sir George. Yes, we will see you in Summerlee.
Edmund, it's probably not my place, but I think your parents would be proud of the man you're becoming. And he gives you a pat on the a pat on the shoulder as carefully as he can with spiked gauntlets. All right, cheerio!
Thank you.
And Scrunt, take care of that farm, and if those beetles come back, you whoop them like I told you.
Indeed.
And you, and he points to Bright Eyes, you have a very lovely cat, and I feel like we could bond at some point. I'm going to get you.
It's a look, and she just kind of looks at him and goes, "You can call me Elfhide."
A lovely name. All right. Well, take care. And George Garson goes off.
I gave him my real name. He doesn't get to call me by my moniker.
That's cold in the most wonderfully esoteric way. Okay, so Mont Blanc, before we move on, I assume you want to know your Pokedex entry?
Yes, I sketched it as it fell into the hole.
Paluda. Description. Paludas are a variety of dragons, specifically a variety of lesser drake, which is to say, a dragon with 4 legs and no wings. There are many species of Paluda. The one that you seem to have sketched is a short-limbed Paluda, known for its stocky limbs and short neck and very strong, durable carapace. All Paludas have spiked armor, of course, but this variety is particularly durable, almost like a living suit of armor. Paludas tend to be omnivorous, their teeth modified to work as tusks rather than simply fangs, and subsist mainly on a diet of roots and tubers augmented with meat. Should a Paluda's fangs be broken, which is a rare but not completely unheard of occurrence, they will be forced to subsist on a diet of meat, as catching prey and consuming it and stripping it with their teeth is easier than digging deep into the earth where their broken tusk may encounter rocks and stones.
Good to know. Delightful creatures, Paludas. I'm going to flip briefly over to the next page, back to the page where I have the statue where I've been kind of sketched, which I've been using as a conversation piece for the person on the other side of the book.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to write out, if a man has been hunting dragons for 80 years and looks like he's barely above 30, does he count?
Are you writing Can a man be a monster?
Yes? Question mark?
Why, Mont Blanc, I thought you were smarter than this. All men are monsters, the worst of all.
But I can't. Like, there's like, but like, does it count in this situation? I know men can be monsters, but like, I can't just sketch 100 people and call it a day. That's cheating.
That is true. I would find that annoying. I will say that as he is physically human, Sir George Garston, by human definitions, would not be a monster. He would be what humans have declared a paragon. Someone who magic has, for its own inexplicable reasons, decided to favor. He will live a long, eventful life that will come to a violent end. As all paragons do.
That's a shame. He seems fairly nice for a dragon slayer.
Many paragons are. Nice, well-meaning, and using their power rather foolishly.
Fair enough.
Yes.
As an aside, would that mean Odysseus is a paragon?
All of the heroes of antiquity are paragons.
Okay.
If you have a given legendary epic hero, they are essentially a paragon. That is the class of that. Unless they were, spellcasters, in which case they're a wizard. Paragons and wizards are kind of mutually exclusive. It's using magic very different ways. Paragons aren't consciously aware that they're using magic. And that's the big difference.
Well, a demigod like Heracles would be a demigod of something separate.
Well, Heracles is a paragon because he was a demigod.
Okay.
God offspring aren't the same as Cambions or Nephilim. They aren't a specific hybrid. Because gods are not angels or demons.
It gets kind of complicated in Metaterra.
It does. But Heracles would be a paragon. Heracles would be very much a predecessor of George Garston as a famous monster slayer who was ridiculously strong.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I think Charles has been getting big vibes from Garston now that he's hanging out with him a bit.
And Charles, you would know from the stories of the heroes of antiquity, heroes do great things. But Bleakanus is correct. They come to bad ends.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how well-meaning they are.
Odysseus.
Yeah. I mean, even Odysseus kind of gets a happy ending, but it's after 15 years of hell.
Yeah.
All right, well, look at us. Beating 2 side quests in 1 session. With time to spare. So any last business to wrap up in Peralt before we head off on the road to Grimhelm?
Nothing currently. I can think of.
I'm all
All
good.
right.
Nope.
Okay. Excellent.
Moving right along.
Okay.
I don't like that.
Okay. We're just gonna use this as a wilderness map.
What did I miss?
Do. Put yourself on the sheet.
Oh god, no.
Do. Why am I doing music when I already have it up here?
Uh-oh.
Okay, so as you're traveling through Grimhelm, You hear a very familiar roar.
Oh no.
I should make sure that these are bigger size. I'm gonna just modify that really quick.
Suppose we've been lucky so far.
Yes, we have been lucky,
We
and it
should
is.
have upgraded.
All right. So, my good friends, you've got 4 checks to succeed in, and 5 of you to escape the ravening beast. The default check would just be Dex Insight to run as fast and as intelligently as you can. If you want to justify a bonus or doing this differently, like just maybe you're using Might and Insight to just like focus on power rather than nimbleness, just to get speed-wise as far as you can. You could do that. You could also bullshit some other ways. Yeah, go ahead.
Because we're in this canyon area,
Yeah.
right? Charles wants to try and cause a rock slide behind us to try and slow it down or even block off the pass.
You want to trigger a fucking rock slide. Badass.
Hopefully hitting the ravening beast.
Badass. I'm going to say difficulty level 15. Oh, well, 12. We'll do 12.
Okay.
And
Hoping to do effort.
Yeah, I want to help out with that.
All right.
What do we roll?
Anyone helping Charles trigger a landslide to try and keep the beast off your tail as you hear it approach from behind?
Yeah.
Charles just starts slamming into like the rocks at the base of the cliffs with his shield, just like bolt charging them.
Yeah, Scrunt goes and starts smashing into it. So it's might roll.
Joining in.
Well.
All right.
Well. I'm not even gonna fuck with.
Last time he's being serious.
I'm not even fucking with the clock. The dice are nice to you guys tonight.
Yeah.
All right. So you, using some really good like canny thinking, managed to like what are you doing to start the rock slide?
Trying to see where there's like more broken up like rocks that are piled up, where it's like you get a couple going, it'll bring the rest of them down.
Okay, how are you gonna get them going?
Running up to it and like shield, like just full on shield slamming, just charge in bull style, just trying to.
I'm gonna say from both your roll and from the fact that your friends are helping you, you managed to do that without having to like roll to not get caught. And you trigger this rock slide just as you see the thing like crest a corner that you passed. And as it sees you, its eyes glint with recognition as it realizes you are, in fact, the things it's been tracking. And it opens its mouth all the way.
Boy.
Do we get the art? Do we get the art?
Its neck twitches, writhes, and splits.
God!
And you just see mouths nested within mouths as a second pair of eyes opens on the side of its neck, and things that you thought were 2 tufts of fur reveal themselves to be a second set of ears. Like, the entire front half of its body from, like, the neck down, because its neck is thick, is just one giant collection of slavering, fang-lined mouths. As you see the fleshy hidden side jaws, there's eyes on those as well, blinking in like the slimy, viscous flesh. It has a long tongue with sharp barbs, and as its tail whips open, it splits, and there's another set of jaws growing out of that. The creature lets loose that horrible howl as it tries to scrabble through the rocks, but the rocks not only block the path, but begin to start falling on it as well. And you can hear it like roar and grunt in frustration as it's hit. And then you hear the sound of its footprints as it gallops off, trying to find some other way to get you. But thankfully, the path is so narrow that it does not manage it, and you guys make it to Grimhelm.
Jesus fuck.
Ugh.
That was worse than I was expecting.
Yeah.
And now I definitely want some spiked armor like Garston.
That was like 3 days worth of sketching, figuring out how to get that fucker right.
Jesus Christ, that's fucking good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
But
Fenrir brood, but that is like next level.
it's fucked up. I'm glad that we rolled a 1.
Yeah, that's glad.
By the way, the dice size that we roll is going to go down as your number of crown jewels goes up.
Yay!
This dice, as in for what?
So right now I'm rolling a d10 whenever you're in the wilderness, and if you get a 1, you get a ravening beast encounter.
Ah, okay.
And right now you've got 2 crown jewels. When you get to 3, it's going to go to a d8. When you get to 4, it's going to be a d6. And when you get to 5, it's going to be a d4. And after that, that's about as low as it's going to go.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Fun.
Ominous.
We're gonna have to deal with this thing eventually.
It's your nemesis. All right, but you are at the town of Grimhelm, or rather, the city of Grimhelm, one of the largest settlements in this part of Angelsex, where the Count and Countess Rain live in Rain Castle, where they rule this county. It's a large city with big, high stone walls, big, thick, high stone walls, castle parapets, a great deal of trade going through it. A nice, safe place where you can find a lot of stuff to buy. As you enter the city from Peralt, you are immediately in the shopping district because these fuckers knew how to city plan. There is a magic shop, a theater with an attached prop shop and actor's lounge, a shop that's called Vermin's Rare Wares, and a smithy. You also see several stands of local merchants, mostly food vendors, selling street food. I'm gonna just give you the full tour. Going up towards the north of town, you find not only Rain Castle, but next to it, the barracks of the soldiers of House Rain, as well as the stables where they keep all of their mounts and mounts of other people. Next to the stables is the Two Brothers Tavern and Inn. And then you get into the housing district, where there's lots of peasant houses, as well as one manor and a hunting lodge for rich, crusty fucks. Oh, and more little food shops over here. Little food vendors. Everyone's well fed.
Good.
The north road out of Grimhelm leads to Summerlie. To the northwest is Langchild, and there are roads into the wilderness both to the southwest and to the northeast. The really interesting thing about Grimhelm is that it has partially blocked off a stream, a tributary of the Ridgetooth River, and is using that as a partial moat for the castle of the Count. And in the moat, you guys see these very strange creatures, shaped in many ways like a serpent, but with 4 limbs like a dog, thick, armored, scaly hides, long snouts like a horse, big, flat, paddle-like tails with sharp spines on the back. Mont Blanc, as a reader of bestiaries, you would know this rare creature as a crocodile.
I sketched the crocodile in the book.
I thought it was specifically going to be a Sirandra.
What? You sketched the crocodile, and in the book it says, Seandre, description. Domesticated from the wild crocodile, these arcane and highly intelligent reptiles are trained to protect the moats of mostly aristocrats. They are very intelligent, very social, and capable of performing a great many tricks, in addition to tearing people who might try to hurt their owners limb from limb and dragging them underwater to a horrible drowning death. Love a good piece of chicken. This puppy just goes nuts for chicken.
I appreciate
That's-
this, TT.
That's an Onion article. You're welcome. I was trying to think of a way to fit them in here that didn't have us hurting them.
Mont
The
Blanc's
fun
just like,
part that it doesn't mention is they sometimes go feral in sewers.
these are the most wonderful little guys I've ever seen.
They're not little. They're the size of horses.
Little guys.
I mean, not in the Kelpie way. They're not the shape of horses. They're crocodiles.
Yeah. Charles, like, they kind of look similar to the Kelpie after it stopped pretending to be a horse.
Yeah, they kind of do. I think they're related. They're called Seandres. I'm gonna look at. He's gonna point to one. I'm like, I'm calling that one Thundar. He looks like a Thundar.
Streams.
It emits a big bellowing hiss, and the water ripples and droplets spray into the air. And another Seandre swims towards it and like kind of necks it a little bit.
See, they're lovely guys. Now, hold on. I might have some dried chicken here in my bag. Apparently, they go nuts for chicken. He's gonna pull out some dried chicken rations and chuck it
Pull
into
the
the
Phoenix
boat.
chick away from the edge.
When you throw the thing in, like the Seandres immediately swarm towards it, and the one that gets it first looks as pleased as fuck as it like the others bump right into it trying to get the chicken, and it like puts its paws on top of them as it gulps it down with just the most shit-eating grin on its crocodile face.
Delightful. Absolutely lovely fellows.
So, you know that Count Rain is who you would have to look for the Crown Jewel quest, but you've also got some shops if you want to stop by, and there's a theater.
Yes. Mont Blanc is going to stare at the theater and be like, that's big.
Yeah, it's a nice big amphitheater. It looks like it could house at least like 200, maybe even 300 people. This is a city, not a village or a town. It's a big place.
This is one of the largest buildings I've ever seen.
There doesn't seem to be a show going on, but there are a bunch of actors on the stage just kind of chilling out.
Call him on the smoke break.
Mont Blanc is like walking around the theater, just like admiring it because there is a solid chance he's never been in one before. He's just like, wow.
Hello, good sir. And you see you're approached by a person wearing like a very theatrical mask. Are you here for the free lessons?
I was not intending to, but if you're offering, I will gladly join in some. Why not?
Well, today we're running a workshop. Anyone who wants to learn some acting of their own so they can start their own theater... Why am I giving him George Carson's voice? Jesus Christ. So if they want to start their own acting profession, they can learn the skills involved. If you study with us for a measly 20 minutes or so, we can help you learn to... William, get onto the right part of your fucking outline.
Don't
we
worry,
can teach
William.
you how to act. And with your acting talent, you can get a +2 bonus to any check made using acting talent, such as convincing people of falsehoods, reading the emotions of others, disguising yourself with costume and makeup, etc.
Grunt
So,
just
if you spend 20...
noticeably- Sorry, I just want to say Grunt noticeably perks up at the description there.
Yeah, so if you spend time with the actors, you can get a +2 bonus to any check that you can justify uses your acting talent. So
Yes.
if you want to lie to someone,
Yes.
to lie convincingly like an actor, and all of that. Also, Charles, you might remember that people mentioned seeing a Sphinx at the amphitheater in Grimhelm.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Yeah, actually, Charles was interested just because, you know, there's the Greek theater back home, but it's just like, oh, this will be interesting to see how they do it here.
Well, the theater is a temple. All right. So anyone who's willing to spend 20 minutes here, you get that +2 bonus to any check made using acting
Alright.
talent.
Okay. That sounds like fun.
Yeah.
All right.
And if you
So
want,
we're
you can
learning
also
that.
go. And once you've learned this, you can go to our prop shop, and they'll allow you to commission costumes and puppets, which can be used for various situations. For example, I myself once used a hair puppet to distract predators away from myself. It was very useful. The puppet didn't survive, but it kept me away from the wolves.
Absolutely fair. We just met a particularly interesting wolf as well.
And that's also a thing. You can go to the prop shop to commission costumes and puppets. Costumes can be used to further add to a specific disguise, and puppets can be used in any way you could think of using a puppet as a tricky way. The suggested one is to use it like a substitute doll in Pokemon, but I'm sure you can also be clever enough to think of other ways to use puppets, because puppets are cool.
Puppets are cool.
They really are.
I don't know if I
You could
agree
wear
with
a
that.
hand puppet on your tail.
I don't know if I agree with that.
But Charles, once the lesson's over, would be like, "Pardon me, I was actually came to Grimhelm to actually ask about previous show that was here."
Sphinx, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That act moved on. We do allow other people to use. I've got to stop giving him the George Garson voice. I was trying to go for something more theatrical.
He is very bombastic. I don't blame you.
Mm-hmm.
We did try to keep them here, but sadly, the person who caught the creature, despite how learned it was and how much of a draw it was and how much gold it put in our coffers, decided that he had found a better buyer in Peter Hammerschmidt, and so we have lost our Sphinx. Shame. Beautiful creature. Lovely eyes.
Was she
Look at-
working? Well, you said captured, so she wasn't working willingly.
No, but her eyes. You look in them and it's like you're seeing all the stars at once. Alright, turn it down, Chutney. I love that Sphinx. Okay, you just keep that to yourself. You just... Yeah, sadly, this Sphinx is gone, which is a shame. Beautiful singing voice. Wonderful performance. Could fly right over the crowd. And seemed to take to captivity and imprisonment pretty well as monsters go. Better than that big two-legged thing I heard about in Summerlee.
Which one?
They had some sort of big scaly brute. 2 legs, no arms, great big head.
That sound familiar?
No, you haven't heard anything about that before. No rumors about that have crossed your ears until now. Maybe we should catch our own Sphinx, boss. Maybe there's other pretty Sphinxes out there. Okay, I understand that you found yourself a new fetish, but we don't need to be sharing those with customers.
Would not recommend it. It's probably dangerous to hunt them.
What about to woo one? Jesus Christ! Midgheim equivalent of Jesus Christ!
I like DZ's explanation for Jesus. They were a wizard who exploded themselves so explosively that the name just became an expletive for shock.
I don't want that to be canon, but it's so sacrilegious, I'm tempted.
Hey, just pronounce it Jesus.
The person who wants this setting to be, like, somewhat consistent and well-developed
I mean,
doesn't want
it
that.
could have Metaterra origins because, you know, it's just like, oh, come on, hey, Zeus, really, now?
But the bitter ex-Catholic in me finds that very funny. So yeah, that's the theater. You've now learned what the theater does and how you can use the prop shop to commission things, which is a very silly mechanic, but it's like Fabula Ultima is all about, like, loves doing crazy shit and justifying it with its mechanics. And I wanted to think of some crazy shit you could do. And I think using puppets is something that could be really funny.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. You do have a standard magic shop, and you do have a smithy, and you have Vermin's Rare Wares, and the soldier barracks, and the stables, and Two Brothers Inn and Tavern, the rich people stuff, and of course the castle where the main quest is.
I see this manor over
Well,
here.
Yeah, it wouldn't be an RPG if we avoided. If we did, it wouldn't be an RPG if we didn't avoid the main quest for as long as possible.
Of course.
I
Zoom-
kind of do want to check the magic shop and the rare wares.
We want to
Yeah.
check the magic shop first, and then like just sort of work our way around.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like the magic shop specifically, or Vermin's Rare Wares. I'm seeing people different spots.
Do magic shop first.
Yeah, let's go
All right,
like around.
I love Millennial Fair, but I'm going to pause the music so that I can concentrate more on doing my job. Okay. All right. At the magic shop, you see a very unenthused-looking wizard lady. Hello. Welcome to the magic shop. I run it. I sell stuff. Want to buy some stuff?
What do you have?
Well, I've got this rusty staff. It's a rusted caduceus. It uses double willpower to attack, high roll +2 physical, one-handed, adds 5 HP to any healing effect cast by the bearer. Costs 800. I didn't cut out my heart if you're wondering that for some reason. I'm just like this. I also have Frood's Pocket Fairyland Field Guide. It's a double insight, HR +6 physical, two-handed, +2 to magic checks made against fairies, +2 to opposed checks against fairies, 800 Zenit. And then
Oh,
I've
I
got
get it.
grimoires. I've got 4 grimoires here. I've got a choleric grimoire of fire spells, a phlegmatic grimoire of water/ice spells, a sanguine grimoire of wind spells, and a melancholic grimoire of earth spells. They have the stats I posted in chat there, and they're 500 Zenit apiece. That's basically my stock.
I get the field
The
guide
fruit?
name.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh no, we're gonna go to the puppet store and it's gonna be manned by someone named Henson. Sir James Henson.
Fairy field guide is a weapon?
Well, magic books are a weapon in the sense that you can smack people with them.
Okay.
Yes.
Mont Blanc's been doing.
And they're also used. They also add to your magic checks more often than not. So they're used for spells. So that's why they're considered a weapon. It's like in Fire Emblem, where your mages will have like different books to represent
Right.
their different spells.
Would you take trade-ins?
Maybe. What do you got?
And I'm going to pull out the Vampernomicon.
Oh fuck! The DM's got to figure out what he made that cost. Give him a second.
I was wondering if I could, and adjusting for costs as well, to pay for this new Fairy Nomicon.
All right, I'd give you 250 for that. So we'd mark 250 off the price. That'd be 650. Wait, no. That'd be 550. That's how math works, asshole. So just a little bit more than the choleric things, and it does a lot more.
Mm-hmm. It is also almost all my money, so it's like...
The other party members could chip in if they think this might be useful.
That's fine.
Yeah, Do you want to hold on to the other book? It's probably good to hold on to it. Because it's probably not going to be the last time we see undead.
True, I suppose.
I
Are
suppose
you willing to kick in like 100?
you did pay for the boat earlier. I can chip you 100 as well.
Aw,
Aww.
look at you guys becoming friends.
Yeah,
this
look at 'em
interlude.
go.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
So,
gross.
even with you two chipping in that takes it down to 600, which is, if I'm looking at my funds and I've been managing them right, literally 20 above me being able to outright buy it.
Put on your fancy clothes.
Oh, right, my fancy clothes.
Just change
Oh,
it up
wow.
there.
I can force my
I mean,
boyfriend
it's
to wear
JRPG
these.
rules. It's just instant equip, right?
I can force my boyfriend to wear these. I'll take 100 off the price.
Deal.
All right,
Wait,
you
you're
know.
trading in your clothes?
Yeah.
Like I pull out the chain and she's like, I'll buy the clothes. And Montblanc's like, I don't care enough about rich people. That's your guys' job.
All right. So there you go. You've got Frood's Pocket Fairyland Field Guide. I'm sure that won't be important later.
No.
All right. Anyone else buying stuff at the magic shop?
No. I'm good.
All right. Where do we want to go to next? Just want to go up to Veriman's Rare Wares?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. You enter this shop, and the chimes on the door ring, and there's a huge puff of red smoke. And stepping out it very dramatically is a thin, reedy man in the most gaudy clothes you've seen thus far. Think Ferengi levels of gaudy for those of you who like Star Trek. just he's got so many different colors and fabrics just to show off the fact that he can afford this many different colors and fabrics. Like very complex patterns that clash horribly, but he bought them and had them sewn together to show off that he could afford them. And he says, "Welcome, one and all, to Vermin Imbecile's Rare Wares, magical treasures from all across the land. Brought to you by me, Vermin Imbecile."
Any relation to Leone Imbecile?
And the big, salesman smile on his face immediately drops into a glower. No. I am not paying any of her debts. I don't care what that spendthrift has
No.
got into this time. Not another red cent. You go and take your pound of flesh. Lord knows she has enough. I am not
No.
covering her
Hey.
faults
Hey.
anymore.
Shush.
Until she learns the value of money, I have no daughter.
Don't appreciate you speaking so poorly of a friend of ours, but no, we are not monsters, sir.
Oh, some friend. She'll spend every cent you have.
Like, Charles turns and look at the other group and it's just like, come on with this fucker. Kind of look.
I mean, he did send his daughter off to be eaten by a doppelganger. I don't have high expectations.
Did you say that out loud?
Yes, making eye contact with him. I can roll.
What in the
intimid-
God's good names are you prattling on about?
Oh, haven't you heard? The Baron of Perrault has been replaced by a doppelganger for the last, 10 wives? 12
Business
wives?
is that of mine and my daughter. Why is it going to George Garson again? No, and it's different. It's different, William. Jesus. Now you're just getting paranoid. It's like his voice is infectious. To me.
Oh, local accent.
What? Why does this Baron matter to me at all?
He was to marry your daughter, then kill her and eat her.
I don't remember a Baron asking. Oh, did she try? Of course. I give her a shop and she decides to marry her way out of it. Always looking for the easy way out. I swear that girl. You tell her if you see her next, I'm selling the last of her things. I've got them all in boxes, and they're going to be shipped out. And you know what? I'll take a pittance for it.
Well,
Anyway, would you like to buy some stuff?
Seems like we can't expect a discount for being friends with Leone here.
No, not at all. But if you would like, if you have coin, if she hasn't leached it all out of you yet, I do have some very wonderful things.
I don't want to give this guy a cent.
Nonetheless, I am going to let you see what he has, and it's a lot. It's a lot. Because this, of course, is our curio shop. Now, a lot of it's very expensive, but some of it might be close to affordable.
Maleficarium.
Leonie's dad is the
A
worst
master
kind of
hand.
human Ferengi.
He is.
Absolutely the kind of man who would say, females!
Ugh.
A gauntlet.
Yeah, that's Scrunch needs to get the master hand.
Yeah. Alright, need to get like 20. Alright, need to get 2,300 more. Let's go.
Now you gotta start hoarding things up, little dragon. There's a chakram, which you might know as the weapon that Xena uses.
Yep.
The shadow tunic might be of interest to Bright Eyes, or the white tunic, or the red tunic.
Mhm.
Ooh. Girls would want the white tunic, but
It's a bit expensive. Plus side, you know, this next arc is working for a countess, so it should probably pay better than the last few.
Oh, is
Shield of
all the
Weasel.
stuff that is up there, TT, is this all like Marshall stuff?
Check. Because a lot of these are based on things. I didn't have it marked on there. Well, I probably did. It just had it with a little asterisk, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
yeah.
Talking to myself. Let me check. I mean, granted, some of this is also homebrew, but I did base it all on things. You know, at least use things as a starting point. So Shield of the Weasel is Marshall. Let's see. The tunics are not. Anyone can wear the tunic. The chakram is, if I can find it. This one was actually in the thing, and I was like, that's Xena's weapon. We gotta have Xena's weapon. The chakram is not Marshall. Neither is the Master Hand. Let's look at the Hornet. Hornet's not Marshall. And the Grimoires obviously are Marshall. So only the Deathblade and the Shield are Marshall weapons and armor.
Okay, so I'd be the only one who could use that Shield of the Weasel, which is pretty good, depending on if poison's going to be something later on.
Can we
But
steal
I
it?
only-
Can we steal it?
I
Well, I mean, you can. That's an adventure you could have. might want to think.
Kind of pissed us off.
Might want to think it through how you would steal it before you plan your heist. Theoretically, yes, you could rob this guy's shop.
Let's rob him blind.
Given
Your friend
how
Leone.
much good it is, how many goods there are, I'd probably have a lot of checks you would have to make of probably higher difficulties than normal. But it's not impossible.
You gotta find Leone. Want to help us rob your dad blind?
There is a
I think
likelihood
she'd
that
be okay with that.
she would probably have a key.
We need to find Leone.
Long-term side quest unlocked.
Rob
I don't
Leone's
think we
shitty
have
dad.
enough to buy any of this stuff.
It's like Conquered Worm all over again. I'm gonna rob this guy and he's gonna be torn apart in the fucking town square.
Well, I love patterns. The smithy, I will also spoil this for you. The smithy is exactly the same as the smithy in Peralt. It has no special stuff to buy, but you can enchant things. There will be one of those in every town.
Okay.
The
Okay.
only thing I can enchant something with is dirt and pumpkin seeds.
But yeah. Okay. Other places to visit before you go to the main quest: Soldier Barracks, Stables, the Inn and Tavern, and Imbecile Manor and the Hunting Lodge.
Oh, I'm gonna ignore Imbecile Manor because they can't be any better than this guy.
Okay.
I would like to go to the stables and see the horses.
Yeah. Just
Maybe these ones won't turn into monsters.
Soldier Barracks is nearby that. Would you like to stop there first?
Sure.
All right.
Pass by
Here-
these little stands as well.
At the Soldier Barracks,
Oh,
you see
I
several
clicked into
people.
the castle early.
At the Soldier Barracks, you see several people in various states of armor. Most of them are wearing like leather armor and padded quilted armor with just a few bits of plate mail, like a helm or a helmet. Some of them are in half plate, and some of them are in full plate. But for the most, they're all different types of soldiers and different type of armor, and they're all training with weapons. And a knight bearing the red and black livery of Grimhelm says, "Ah, you look like seasoned folk. Would you like some lessons in weaponry? Once per day, we can train you to get a +2 attack bonus to one specific weapon, or a +2 defense bonus to one specific armor or shield."
Is that out of character? Does that stay, or is that just for the day?
That stays. You train with the soldiers to get better at using your particular weapon, shield, or armor.
I'll take that.
I mean, that sounds pretty good.
Ooh.
You only get to do this once per session in Grimhelm.
Okay. Yeah. Fuck it. We ball.
Let's do it.
Yeah, a lot of... Being a guardian, though, would it just be increasing the defense of my shield, or like the actual damage it does? 'Cause I
So
could shield
you
bash
have to
things.
pick a specific type of weapon. So swords, or knives or axes or what have you. You have to pick a specific type of armor. So it's either like a tunic or plate armor or wizard robes. Those are like roughly the three types of armor in Fabula Ultima. Or you pick a shield. And you can only pick one of these three.
Okay.
And you get a +2 bonus to that. So if you pick shields, that means every shield you wear now has 2 more defense points than it normally would added to your defense.
Whoops. Didn't mean to click that.
Yeah, I'll take that for
Yeah.
tunics.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that for my ass.
Pick it for
Um,
shields, since Guardian is built around shields.
And Scrump, this does count for your scales armor and your fist claws. We are working on Chrono Trigger rules for you, where technically you have weapons and armor, even if in story you don't.
Yeah. I'm gonna say use the gauntlets.
Yeah, I feel you need a bit more attack power, so yeah, that's smart.
Yeah.
All right. Excellent.
So
I'm gonna add my attack power too.
this adds 2 to it?
Yep, so whenever you use that particular thing, it works. It has 2 more points of its specific stat for you. So 2 more attack points or 2 more defense points.
Hell yeah.
And where do we put that? With the HR plus.
I would just put there's like a bonus section, I believe, in a character sheet for those things. I'll put it in the bonus.
So like after the accuracy line.
Let me look at my example character sheet here.
So if you're looking at a weapon, it's accuracy, and
Yeah.
then the two things, as a box, you put the two there.
And then below that box, there's like a a 0, and you would put that up to a 2.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, I'll do
also,
that.
DM.
Yeah?
Since I'm getting the bonus defense for my shield, and it's specifically the runic shield from the base stat stuff.
Yeah.
So I get a +2 defense. Would that boost that up to a +4 like it does for the
Yeah.
physical
Yeah.
defense?
And if you find a better shield, you would add 2 to whatever that shield gives you.
Excellent.
Yeah.
My normal defense is now 15, and my magic defense is 12.
Look at you guys, getting a bit beefier.
Which
Yeah.
that means I don't have to waste an aura spell on myself because I would but it'd be the same thing.
Okay. And then the stables. The stables, they have horses and carriages that can be purchased for 2,000, and that initially turns you off until you see that there's one that its price has been marked down from 2,000 to 500, then to 1,000, then to just 500, and the guy standing next to this horse looks very desperate. The horse itself is the most beautiful white and black horse you've ever seen, but it also looks incredibly pissed.
That is a lovely horse, sir. Why is it so low?
Because I believe in a good bargain, of course. This is the best horse you're ever gonna find. I mean, look at how beautiful it is. And it's strong, carries that carriage like no one's business. Do not try to
Charles?
ride it. It will buck you off and try to kill you.
Charles tried to inspect this being a farmer.
You can absolutely do like a insight willpower or even just a straight insight check to see whether this guy is selling you bullshit.
Check the bullshit. Check the bullshit.
Yeah, I'll do
Oh.
insight willpower.
Okay. Definitely level 10. Roll that beautiful beam footage.
10.
Hey! Okay, so looking at the horse, it definitely looks like it's strong enough to carry that carriage really well. And it definitely looks really pissed off. Really pissed off. The way it's biting at its bit and bridle, like this is a wild horse. This is a horse that does not want to be tame. And this guy is trying to sell it to you as a beast of burden.
How soon did you get this? This is not a broken horse at all.
Okay. Listen, I'm kind of in a bind. This guy, he came to me and he said, "Look at this beautiful horse. I've bridled it, and I'll give it to you for a measly 10,000 gold." And I thought, that seems like a reasonable price for a horse this pretty. And I bought it, and then he told me that there were rules, that I can't put a saddle on it, and I can't try to ride it because it will try to kill me, and that I should never, ever take its bridle and bit off. It can just eat around it. And the damn thing, it's just really pissy, and I need to make something off of it, or I'm going to lose my house.
He gets sold a cursed horse, I think.
Listen, I can sell it to you for 200. That's enough. That's enough for me to keep my house for another month. And then I can figure out a way out of that situation.
Fuck it, we ball.
Hey, Mont Blanc.
I'll give it to you.
Maybe,
Mont Blanc just gives a nod and then walks up to the horse, who's very pissed, and using the beast speech features goes like, "So you're having a time, aren't you, bud?"
Give me a second. I gotta do this appropriately. So I'm gonna just stick this in my mouth. It says to you in perfect Bretonch human speech, "Get this bridle off of me."
Did the rest of us hear that?
No, it's whispering to Mont Blanc.
Okay.
Get this bridle off of me.
Just give me a second. Mont Blanc's gonna walk over to Charles, whisper in his ear, "That horse is speaking perfect English, Britannic English. I think we really should buy it just to get it out of here."
Yeah.
It tastes
I-
good.
I'm not
Hmm?
even sure.
I just put a pen in my mouth to simulate that, and the pen I picked was my Beetlejuice pen, and the flavor of it was weirdly sweet. Like, it didn't just taste like
I wasn't sure
plastic, it
what you
tasted...
said. I just hear you whisper. I thought I heard you whisper, "I taste good."
Sorry, go on. I didn't mean to interrupt.
That's the Beetlejuice.
It's the Beetlejuice talking.
So if we need to get like a handful of people to chip in to get this horse out, I think we'll just get this taken care of really quick.
Yeah. So you said 200.
Be enough. I can't go lower than that and solve my problem, even temporarily.
Bright Eyes is gonna go over to him and put 280 gold in his hand.
Thank you. Now I can get 80 gold worth of liquor. Oh, thank you. The horse is yours. All right, you
Man.
have a horse and carriage. What you gonna do with your horse?
Take the
Let's
bridle
get
off.
that bridle off of him.
Not in town. Let's take him out of town, get him out, and he can run, and then we'll go do things, and we'll just buy another horse.
Wolf out there. There's a big wolf out there.
We are
Yeah.
aware.
I don't want to go out there.
Just
Take the bridle off of me.
Like, and Mont Blanc like leans into the horse and like, "If you eat my fingers, I swear."
I fucking can't. There's a bridle in my mouth.
And I'm gonna reach in and pull it out, and that's a perfect time to eat some fingers, as he says, as
All
he's
right,
pulling the
you-
bridle out of
You
the
pull
mouth.
the bridle and bit out of the off of the horse, out of the horse's mouth and off of its head, and it shakes its head. It's like, "Oh, thank you." At which point, its eyes go from horse eyes to sharp orange reptilian eyes, and as its lips curl, you see long conical teeth inside of its mouth rather than the normal teeth of a horse, but otherwise stays a perfect white and black horse. Oh my god. Oh, I've been wearing that for 5 months. Oh, it's been so long since I've been in the water.
Ah. Was wondering.
Yeah, I had a like perfect black and white horse. My leg twitched from memory.
That's the thing that tried to bite you before.
Different person, but yeah.
Bitten any fucker who hasn't tried to ride me in days. God, you guys are heavy. I can't even get my spikes out with that thing on.
Yeah, that's fair. No worries.
Okay, you guys
Um,
did me a solid. Do you actually need a carriage and a horse?
Not yet. We were going to buy preemptively, so like, if you just want to hang out here for a bit, you're more than welcome to.
Okay, I'll tell you what. You guys if you guys don't put that on me again, I'll carry you around at extra speed so that it's harder for big hairy monsters to taste you.
Yeah.
Let's
Fair.
say
Very
it
good.
makes the ravening beast dice size go up by 1. So instead of a D10, you'd be rolling a D12.
That would be
I would-
nice.
That would
And
be
this
nice.
is your fast travel option. A Kelpie carriage.
Oh my.
And if we do like Oregon Trail and reinforce the carriage, we can ford rivers.
And just in case anyone missed it, this is what our sweet Kelpie looks like
Okay, that's what I thought.
when he's
Sweet
not
baby
disguised. When he is disguised, of course, he looks like a white horse with a black mane and tail, like if I find it. This one.
Just a sweet horse.
Look at that little
White
fella.
Just
horse.
a sweet little horse.
Yeah, I was like, I was like, Mont Blanc's like, that is so not a horse.
Um,
Yeah, until it started talking, Charles was half convinced it was a dead median from back home. Sometimes horses just like to nibble fingers and
Sure.
hold chickens.
Normal horses don't need a thing to nibble fingers. That's why he was going. I was like, I know you're not a normal horse. I'm keeping my fingers.
The Two Brothers Tavern Inn, I'm going to tell you right up front, you spend 10 Zenit to recover your health and MP and inventory points and all that. And then the last two places you can go before you activate the main plot are Imbecile Manor and the Hunting Lodge.
We should peek at where Leone grew up, Understand our friend?
Mm-hmm.
I suppose. I hope they're not.
I don't think they're coming back here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, having been to Cobalt's Manor, and then also having seen Rain Castle passing in, Imbecile Manor is less impressive than it might have been, but it's still like 3 or 4 times the size of a normal house. It's still way more house than a person could really need. Actually, when you get to the gates of this gated upper class part of Grimhelm, are you wearing your adventurer's outfits or your fancy outfit?
Probably adventurers.
I don't have the fancy outfit anymore.
Grunt is wearing fancy.
I would
Yeah,
know that we were
fancy.
going to the manor, so I would be wearing the fancy. I know.
Okay, Edmund follows everyone else then and it puts fancy on.
I know.
And
how
Mont Blanc
nobles
does
are.
not have fancy outfits. So there are 2 Grimhelm guards, in Grimhelm livery at the gates of this community, and they look like they look at you and they nod until they see Mont Blanc, and they're like, "Sir, are you with them?"
Yes. I am in traveling clothes. I understand if you have to say no. I've been there before, bud.
Hey, Gregor, does this seem right to you? Well, the rest of them all dressed rather fancy. Maybe he's just one of them hunters they're consulting at the lodge. All right, in you go.
Thank you.
And you're welcomed into the rich fuck side of town. So you're going to the Imbecile Manor.
Taking a peek.
Do you knock at the door?
Yes.
Sure.
As you walk up the drive, there's a gardener. He stands up, waves at you, doesn't seem to show any acknowledgement of the fact that Mont Blanc is dressed like a fucking peasant. When you knock at the door, it takes a minute, but eventually a maid comes to the door. Yes. Can I help you?
Didn't think this far.
Hello! We're friends of Leone. We just wanted to stop by and,
How has she been doing over in Perot? How has she been doing in Hans Anders? Has the shop been doing well? We haven't heard of her. Well, the master did say that we're not allowed to have letters from her, so they've just been turning those away when they come in. But is she all right? Is she doing
Yes.
well?
She's doing fine.
Well, the master's not in at the moment, so you could come in. We'd love to. Do you mind if I get the rest of the serving staff?
Please.
All right, you here, and she shows you all to the parlor and lets you sit. And eventually, bit by bit, the rest of the servants filter in: gardeners, cooks, scullery maids, a snooty butler, other maids of the house, and they all come in. And the lead maid's like, "So how has Leone been? Has she been all right? Has she been making enough to make ends meet?"
Yes.
She's been.
The
doing
shop's
well.
working out for her then.
We don't know that it's not working out for her, so it's not technically lying to them.
So you do have a bonus to lying rolls anyway.
We do have bonus to lying rolls.
It's just, would we feel bad for lying to them? Do we want to reassure them, or do we want to tell them what happened and then reassure them that she's all right in case she comes by? That's the question.
I think that would be the wiser decision.
I feel like Bright Eye should take the lead on this.
Yeah.
Hang all that nonsense. I want to know if she's gotten into any mischief. Oh, she was the sweetest little kid when she was here. Always getting up into scrapes.
Well, I must reassure you before I tell you the story that she is fine. But we did have a bit of an adventure.
And one of them is, is it okay if I sit down?
I would recommend it, actually.
And they all do sit down and they listen very raptly.
So, and she's just gonna use her acting skills that she just got to make this a very fairy tale-ish retelling of what happened in Peralt.
Hell yeah, do a straight willpower check. +2 with your acting chops to tell the story of their beloved little girl.
Willpower.
Huh.
Do I have 2 willpower? No, I just got it.
I mean, just roll willpower twice.
Yeah. I was just wondering if there was already a button for that. I just gotta... And +2. Come on!
+2? That's fine. Anyone else want to assist? Actually, I mean, you could also invoke a bond if you wanted to. It's not that important.
I'll invoke a...
Assist. I'll assist, Assist
And it
in,
was
other parts for the show.
insight or willpower?
Yeah.
I was just looking at captivate. Captivate might work, but that's more that's a dex and willpower. Never mind.
Just if the rest of you decide to chip in and reassure that things went all right, and yeah, there we go, we're fine. You managed to tell the story not only with theatrics, but in a way that explains the situation to the staff and comforts them knowing that Leonie got out of it all right. And especially when Bright Eyes, you note that you gave her some money to go, they all smile, and one of them says, "Well, fancy that, Leonie receiving charity for once." And it's like, remember when I was having trouble at home with my son, and she gave me her allowance to get the medicine?
I like Leona even more now.
Mont Blanc is starting to get that feeling in the back of the head of maybe I should cause some mischief.
And the butler says, "The rest of you clear out now. I have some business to discuss with these people." And as the rest of the staff goes, he says, "The master is wishing to sell the last of Leonie's personal effects. He's already sold most of what she had after kicking her out. She didn't have very much when she left. Do you think if I gave those to you, you'd be able to find a way to return them to her?"
Of course.
I give you my word that she will get them back when we find her.
Good. She is very dear to us. It is rare to find a person to serve that is giving and kind. And in all my years of service, Master Imbecile is, of course, a noble man worthy of his wealth, but Leonie was the sort of person who encouraged a certain amount of loyalty. Not to sell this character too much to the audience. Hope I'm not laying it on too thick. Anyways.
No, it's fine. We get it. Yes, from the short time we knew her and interacted, I got that feeling.
And he motions for the maid and who has been listening at the door, and she nods and goes upstairs, and they get you a small box of personal effects, like a hand mirror, a few bottles of perfume, a child's teddy bear, just some small mementos of Leonie's youth. It's not a lot, but it's what's left of her life here. And they give that to you, and the butler says, "Good be with you and safe travels.
Good be with
Thank you for telling us what has become of our little girl."
I could have lied and just told you that she was all right in Hansan, but that felt wrong.
I'm glad to know the truth of it. And all of the servants wave, like that you pass as you leave the manor, wave to you and are quite friendly and kind in a way that their master very clearly is not.
Yeah.
They still
Also-
have souls.
Before she leaves, she's going to gesture to the butler real quick and just kind of have a whisper in his ear and go, This is a terrible thing to ask, but could you not tell your master that we were here today?
I'd be in as much trouble as you, so I will not.
I understand that you could get in trouble for it anyway, but I would appreciate it.
You have my word.
She knows what fucking butlers, sometimes they have to respond to questions, so
Yeah.
that's it.
All right. Last place to visit before the main quest is the hunting lodge.
All right.
Take a look.
Inside the hunting lodge, you see several older rich folk in the exact kind of gaudy medieval aristocrat clothes that I am so fond of drawing and making look as ridiculous as possible. All chatting with various stuffed animal heads. It's like, yes, it was quite a good boar, too. A great big tush. He killed 15 of my men before we finally brought it down. Let me tell you, posing with that thing once they got it killed was the greatest thrill of my life. Marvelous, marvelous. One says, "Oh, are you interested in the spoils of our various affairs? You see, we hunt rare and exotic beasts, and often have their remains, which we can sell for a good deal of money. It's quite a good deal of money, which people can then use to craft various things. Essentially, if you would like a specific crafting material, like say you were looking for some animal materials or plant materials to use to enchant armor so it has ice magic attunement or what have you, you could ask us to do it, and after 2 sessions we would have it available here in the lodge."
Fair enough. I see.
And it costs a mere 5 zenit to get us hunting, because we love a good hunt, don't we, sirs? Yes, we do, yes, we do. So essentially, this is a way for when if I forget to give you good loot, you guys to get some crafting components to enchant some shit.
Okay.
Nice.
Send the hunters on a quest, and if in 2 sessions you can go back to Grimhelm, and they will have the thing for you for a measly 5 zenit. And each of you can do it, so you can send 5 hunters out at once and get 5 things 2 sessions later.
Do we want to do that?
What are the elements again?
So, in Fabula Ultima's system, which is what we're using mechanically, so that's what they're going to be, it would be fire, ice, bolt or electric, wind, earth, poison. You can't get light or dark this way. Light and dark are special, but those 6: fire, ice, earth, wind, bolt, poison. Now, you've got a phoenix making fire materials for you, so you've kind of got that covered.
Right. Kind of wonder about Bolt.
There's quite a few creatures that are attuned to wind and fire magic to master the power of electricity, and shooting thunderbolts at people and giving us a good shock. It's quite good. We can kill some of those and get their glands for you, and you can get yourself some very nice shit.
All right.
Okay.
Count me interested.
All right, so that's one bolt order.
Maple Samurai. So these guys are Monster Hunter characters, except I want to stuff them in a guillotine.
Light.
I can't really think.
Well, we'll be here the rest of our lives, so if you think of something, come back to us.
Yeah, I can't really think of anything right now that I...
Have the option, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
All
I have
right,
all of this.
fine. That's fine. You're good. This is just something that's here, so you know it's here, and you can get back to it.
Okay.
Now, before we get to our last scene today, this technically is an interlude session, so if you guys would like to add a bond, or strengthen a bond, or strengthen and redefine a bond, or add a bond and redefine it, you may do so. So you can add one bond, or you can strengthen one bond, or you can alter and strengthen one bond, which is to say you can switch, two of the things around, but still add to it.
Okay.
And you can do it for any characters you have met so far, including your fellow PCs.
I'm gonna change Sir George Garston. I'm gonna add admiration and take out mistrust entirely, but not put it to loyalty at this time. If that makes sense.
You're just gonna switch mistrust to admiration.
Yes.
Okay. You can also add to another bond if you would like.
Okay.
I'm going to add Behrman under hatred.
Same.
You're already plotting the heist.
Yeah, same. I'm gonna do that.
Strange when a man named Vermin Imbecile is somehow unlikable.
I really hate him.
How do you spell his name?
It's right there on the map.
VAERMAN.
VAERMEN.
Fucking hate that. Man.
Vermin imbecile. So
As soon as he called her fat, I nope, don't like this guy.
And then he just kept going, getting worse.
We're robbing this guy.
Yeah.
Just like that his daughter doesn't understand the value of money, that's all.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he will as soon as we take all of his stuff.
Anyone else modifying, adding bonds? You don't have
I'm
to,
gonna
of course,
add-
but you can.
I'm gonna add affection to Mont Blanc.
I was going
There's
to
like
add
a little
affection.
bit of-
I was going to add affection to Edmund, so that works.
There you go. There's like a little bit there growing. You're still gonna keep the mistrust, It's like, they're starting to kind of understand each other's goals at least a little bit. And seeing him doodle in his book and everything, and helping him along the way.
Yeah, and I think Charles is gonna put admiration under Mont Blanc as well. Just saying, it's just like, oh, this guy's trying to help out everyone he meets, huh? All right.
Did you get one?
On what?
Did Scrunt get a bond?
Yeah, I added
Oh.
hatred for that.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Imbecile.
All right, good. All right. Then
My bond for Scrunt is still affection in the way it's like, you're a funny little freak. Affectionate.
as you guys head towards Rain Castle, we enter a cutscene.
Boy.
2 nights ago, Countess Malus Rain is going over the paperwork left behind by her late husband. Not only does she have to manage the city of Grimhelm, but she also has to manage the entire county that her husband was count of. And since he has passed, all of that falls onto her in addition to raising their child. And this woman has been working late into the night each night. She is stressed beyond belief when she hears a thumping and a thudding in the bedroom next to hers, the bedroom of her daughter. Confused and a little worried, she leaves her bedroom and goes to the daughter's door and listens in, and she hears a very deep voice attempting to sing, and her daughter giggling. And the fact that something or someone is in the room of her daughter sends a chill down her spine. She throws open the door and sees this enormous, shaggy beast standing in the gloom, almost silhouetted as a portal in the daughter's room leads to some bright and happy-looking land. Some magic, glowing doorway. And as the daughter looks at her mom with the terrified expression of a kid who's been caught doing something naughty, the creature grunts quietly, "Go, quickly." The girl runs through the portal, and the mother screams, "No, you're not taking my daughter!" At which point she tries to stop the creature, and it swings out one of its wide arms and throws and knocks her into the wall before retreating into the portal after the girl. And the portal seals up, leaving the Countess Malus Rain alone in her big, empty castle. And this is when we begin Arc 3, Little Girl Loss. But that's for next session. Good night, everybody!
Ah, nice.